At the dinner party, my entire family heard my secret conversation with this weird system. You know about my eldest sister Wanning, right? She is getting cheated on. My eyes nearly popped out of my head. Her fiancé Jiang was basically the ultimate son-in-law in our parents' eyes. The second I thought that, Wanning sat up straight across from me, looking incredibly proud and smug. Everyone literally saw him as the golden standard of a perfect husband. But this system was ready to roast him alive. Turns out, anyone can put on an act. You cannot read his mind. Wanning clenched her fists until her nails dug in, then violently slammed her hand on the table. She snapped at me, Jingchen, "What absolute nonsense are you talking about?" I shivered. I did not say a word, but inside, I was screaming. We are totally doomed. She just explodes out of nowhere. No wonder Jiang could not deal with her. Right then, my third sister Duo gave me a brutal kick under the table. She muttered for me to shut up and eat. Totally baffled, I stood up and slipped into the kitchen for more rice. Safe in my head, I begged the system, "Sis, tell me, how far did they actually go?" The system just giggled. "Master, those two are actually on their date this very second." Behind me, Wanning went pale as a ghost. She could not take another second of this. She ran to the bathroom to call Jiang. 10 calls later, still nothing. Heartbroken and numb, she walked out of the bathroom and headed straight upstairs. But right then, my inner voice blasted through the entire house again. Oh crap. Wanning is acting really weird. "Sis, give me the update, fast." The system shot back, "Host, she probably knows. She was just trying to call him over and over." I waved my hand, of course he did not answer. "Jiang is pretty busy right now, you see." The moment that thought echoed, my sisters' faces turned as dark as a thunderstorm. Upstairs, Wanning was absolutely livid. She slammed her bedroom door shut with a massive bang. Feeling the sudden chill, I whispered to the system, "Sis, does it not feel a little weird in here?" The system giggled, reporting to Host. "It did not just drop, it is literally freezing in here." By 2 in the morning, my dad Guang saw the text from Wangbo, and his temper immediately flared up. Cursing under his breath about how dare that jerk bully a daughter of our family, he marched straight to Wanning's room. Inside her room, the call finally went through. A slimy voice came from the other end. "Hey baby, I was just busy and had my phone on silent." Wanning's voice was cold as ice in response. "What were you busy with?" Jiang immediately spun a quick lie, claiming he was inspecting a major project with a big boss. Wanning was just about to let her guard down when her bedroom door was violently kicked open. My dad Guang burst in, looking pale. "Wanning, that jerk Jiang is at the Tianxing Hotel right now. Let us go see for ourselves." Hearing this, Wanning's face went pale, her legs buckled, and she collapsed. Luckily, my dad was quick enough to catch her. The loud commotion woke up the entire house. Once my other sisters heard the news, they immediately started screaming, and the sheer noise violently dragged me out of my deep sleep. I stumbled out of my room, and before I could even blink, my third sister Duo grabbed my arm and dragged me downstairs. Once in the car, I cautiously leaned forward and asked where we were going. My mom Suni gritted her teeth. "Jingchen, that absolute bastard Jiang has been hurting your sister." I was stunned. That instantly woke me up. "Wait a minute, how on earth did you guys even find out?" Up front, Wanning suddenly spun her head around. Her death stare was cold enough to freeze hell over. I wisely shut my mouth, but mentally, I was screaming. "Sis, how did they know?" The system answered with a sigh. "Host, that question is definitely not on the test." Just then, my dad acted like he read my mind and explained. "Jingchen, Wanning called him earlier and he did not pick up. So I had Wangbo trace him, and guess what? We tracked him down to the Tianxing Hotel. Cheating." I rolled my eyes internally. Talk about amateur hour. Jiang has zero cover-up skills. But my dad Guang suddenly cleared his throat, cutting off my internal monologue. "Jingchen, when we get there, I want you to bust through the door first." I completely froze. "Dad, you want me to be the meat shield? You must be joking." Mom quickly chimed in. "Jingchen, you are big and tall, so your dad wants you to pin him down." I stood there completely speechless, but honestly, thinking about it, that logic was actually pretty solid. We got to the hotel in no time. The whole family charged upstairs to the room, practically radiating murderous intent. Guo Chang shot me a sharp look. "Jingchen, you go." I had to bite the bullet and knock. "Hello, your takeout is here." Inside, Jiang Xing paused. "Baby, did you order takeout?" Xiaoyaki answered lazily. "No, I didn't. Why don't you go check?" Jiang Xing walked over and unlocked the door impatiently. The second it opened, I charged inside and pinned him firmly to the ground. The moment Wanning saw the situation inside the hotel room, she immediately understood exactly what was going on. Her legs buckled and she collapsed straight onto the floor, tears bursting from her eyes on the spot. Jiang Xing scrambled over and crawled to his knees right in front of her. Weining, listen to me, I can explain. But Weining's eyes remained icy cold. She raised her hand and slapped him hard across the face. Why? Why would you do this to me? Jiang Xing frantically pointed at Xiao Yaqi like a desperate man grasping at a lifeline. It was her. She's the one who seduced me. He Duodo spoke up coldly. Jiang Xing, from this day forward, don't you ever dream of stepping foot in the He family home again. Hearing those words, Jiang Xing's face turned completely pale. Deep down, he knew it was already too late. Right then, another voice loaded with hatred suddenly cut through the room. Jiang Xing, you bastard, you're going to die a horrible death. Xiao Yaqi was absolutely furious. You're the one who tricked me into coming to this hotel. And now that you got caught, you want to throw me under the bus? Jiang Xing, even if I become a ghost, I'll never let you off. You are worse than an animal. He Guo Chang spat viciously, before turning his pale, angry face towards Xiao Yaqi. His voice was cold and ruthless, and as for you, you better keep your mouth shut about what happened here today. Otherwise, I have 100 ways to make you disappear from this earth. Terrified, Xiao Yaqi quickly covered her mouth. She knew He Guochang would carry out his threat. Back in the car, Shen Yuan looked at her heartbroken daughter and felt sick to her stomach. Weining tried to stop thinking about it. Just forget about him. He Duodo held her eldest sister's hand and comforted her gently. Eldest sister, a scumbag like him isn't worth a single one of your tears. Weining's haggard face made my heart ache. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Right then, a sudden thought popped into my head. Eldest sister really has it rough. But about Jiang Xing's affair with a body like Xiao Yaqi's, what guy could resist? Immediately, the gaze of every single person in the car locked onto me. I was so terrified that I actually shuddered, stammering, why is everyone looking at me like that? He Duodo quickly elbowed me, shooting me a murderous glare that warned me to hurry up and comfort our eldest sister. I sighed helplessly and managed a smile that probably looked worse than crying. Eldest sister, what's there to be sad about? It's not your fault. It's just a mistake that literally every man in the world makes. The moment those words came out, everyone went dead silent. He Guochang was the first to snap. Jingchen, you can't just spout absolute nonsense like that. Take your dad, for example. In my entire life, I've only ever been good to your mother. Oh, look who's getting defensive now. I sneered in my head and immediately pinged the system. Hey, look something up for me real quick. Does my dad have any crazy scandals? The second that thought crossed my mind, Shen Yuan and my sister's ears instantly perked up. He Guochang was so terrified, his old leg injury flared up and cold sweat poured down. But then the system replied, scan complete. He Guochang has no dark secrets. But next month is your parents' wedding anniversary, and he's secretly preparing a massive surprise. I immediately felt disgusted. What kind of boring gossip is that? Meanwhile, He Guochang let out a massive sigh of relief, a smug grin creeping onto his face, while a shy smile played on Shen Yuan's lips. Even eldest sister's rigid face softened up quite a bit. Once we got back to the mansion, the true young master, He Xiaofeng, came running out. Mom, Dad, you are finally home. Where did you go? He Guochang brushed him off. Nowhere, just had some business to take care of. Shen Yuan chimed in with a warm smile. We saw you were sleeping, so we didn't wake you up. I see. He Xiaofeng replied obediently, but behind his back, his fists clenched tight. Hatred filled his heart. Jingchen, just you wait. Sooner or later, I will kick you out of this house. The next morning, He Xiaofeng scanned the living room, his eyes landing on fourth sister, Hejia. Hey, fourth sister, what are you drawing there? Can I take a look? But Hejia completely ignored him, her brows furrowed in deep concentration as she worked on modifying her design draft. He Xiaofeng only needed one glance, and memories of his past life instantly flooded his mind. Just as he opened his mouth to show off and offer some unsolicited advice, I glanced over. Hey, system, what's going on with fourth sister? The system replied instantly to brief me. Your fourth sister is designing a haute couture dress, but the pattern integration is a total mess. That smug Xiaofeng is trying to butt in and offer clueless advice. Oh crap, if he actually wins over all the sisters, won't I, the villain, be totally screwed? I need to make quick cash and make a run for it. The system calmly chimed in. Host, do not panic. The pattern style simply does not match the dress. All she has to do is swap the style of the pattern and it will be perfect. I couldn't help but wonder silently. Such a simple issue. Would my fourth sister really not see it? Her fingers holding the pen suddenly froze. She scoffed coldly in her head. This little brat actually dares to look down on me. The system immediately clarified it is not that she cannot see it. Her design style is just too aggressive. She always wants to mix sharp edges with soft elements, but this dress requires pure softness. Oh, I get it now. So her professional habit is kicking in. Hearing my thoughts, a sudden wave of inspiration struck. Jia. A smile of sudden realization spread across her face. The next second, she buried her head in the screen and began working. Beside her, Duoduo and Yuding exchanged a glance, their faces packed with pure shock. My inner thoughts hit the mark perfectly once more. Meanwhile, Xiao Fang thought he was the genius here and kept pointing at the screen to show off. Fourth sister, look, the lines of this Byzantine scroll pattern are far too rigid. It completely clashes with the dress, but Hiji ignored him, totally lost in the thrill of modifying her design. The smile on her face grew wider and wider. Xiao Fang, however, mistook this grin as a sign of approval for him. He even shot me a provocative glare, feeling incredibly smug. See that? This is my true talent. Right then, our father, He Guang, spoke up. Xiao Fang, take the keys to this Rolls-Royce Phantom. The boy was instantly ecstatic. He snatched the keys and deliberately dangled them right in front of me. I turned incredibly jealous on the spot. Who wouldn't want to drive a luxury ride and take girls out for a spin? The system immediately chimed in, host, stay calm. You have a car, too. Hurry up and remember the plot details. I froze, then frantically dug through the depths of my memory. My eyes lit up instantly. A Cullinan. Oh my god, yes. My sisters watched my face shift from boiling jealousy to pure joy in a split second. They couldn't help but smile secretly. A little later, the family gathered around the dining table for breakfast. He Guang set down his chopsticks. Jingchen, Xiao Fang. This afternoon, the two of you will head over to Jiangchang University together. My hand gnawing on a chicken leg froze instantly. Can I just go alone? Xiao Fang immediately put on a pitiful expression. Dad, does Big Brother not want to go with me? He Guang's face darkened immediately. Xiao Fang, don't overthink it. You two are brothers and should look out for each other. Mom, I understand. Xiao Fang quickly lowered his head obediently, but inside, he was seething with malice. Mom and Dad still do not trust me. If this were my past life, Jingchen, you would have been kicked out long ago. The four sisters quietly ate their food, but in their hearts, they had already seen right through Xiao Fang's little green tea act. That afternoon, right in front of the garage, Xiao Fang leaned against his Rolls-Royce. A smug smirk played on his lips, but right then, a massive black SUV slowly rolled out. The driver, old Wang, waved at me. Eldest young master, your ride is ready too. Thanks, Uncle Wang, I said, patting the hood. Xiao Fang, your Phantom is so beautiful, so compact and sleek. Mine is just too bulky. The smile on his face froze instantly. His face turned green with rage. He is doing this on purpose. Where on earth did Jingchen get a Cullinan? Mom and Dad are way too biased. He Guang shook his head helplessly, secretly amazed by the Cullinan. When did Jingchen manage to get his hands on this car? He kept it hidden pretty well. Xiao Fang forcefully swallowed his fury and climbed into his Maybach. Meanwhile, my mood was absolutely soaring. Uncle Wang followed right behind Xiao Fang's car. The two high-end luxury cars roared down the road, heading toward Jiangchang University. Inside the Maybach, Xiao Fang's expression was incredibly dark. Why? He's just an outsider. Why does he get to drive a Cullinan? All of that should belong to me. I have to win over Mom, Dad, and my sisters. I must trample him. I will crush Jingchen completely under my feet as soon as possible. Meanwhile, back at the He family villa, our third sister, Duoduo, stood by the massive glass window holding a cup of coffee. She noted that his Cullinan was actually pretty interesting. Fourth sister, Hijia, did not even look up. When it comes to annoying people, he is a real professional. Did you see He Xiaofang's face? It was totally twisted with rage. The fifth sister, Huaying, scrolled through her phone and coldly spat out two words. Serves him right. Yuaning's eyes flashed like sharp knives. That kid, He Xiaofang, clearly has some dirty motives. The way he looks at He Jingchen, the hatred is practically overflowing. Mom and Dad always feel like they owe him, so they are easily fooled. We need to watch him closely, the eldest sister is right. Hidua Duo tapped her fingertips lightly on the table. However, number 6 is entirely focused on running away, he can forget about it. Hejia's eyes flashed. With us sisters here, would we really let him escape? The sisters instantly understood each other, sharing calculating smiles. 30 minutes later, at the university's freshman registration desk, He Xiaofang spoke to a sweet-looking senior. Hello. Senior, I am He Xiaofang from Business Management Class 1. The senior with a bun nodded, asking her helper to find He Xiaofang's materials for Business Management Class 1. Right next to her, another senior immediately started flipping through a pile of rosters. Right at that moment, her gaze landed on me. She called out, asking for my major. Finance Class 1, I replied, He Jingchen. The bun-haired senior's eyes instantly lit up and her voice shot up 8 octaves. You are the top scorer of the entrance exam, oh my god. Come on over. Here are your keys and registration materials. Welcome to Jingchen University. I politely thanked her, but in my mind, I wondered why He Xiaofang was taking so long. Were these rosters sorted by stroke order or what? The system suddenly chimed in, reporting that he is actually in Class 2. I couldn't hold it in and laughed out loud, right in He Xiaofang's ears. It was pure, naked mockery. He whipped his head around, his face flushed red, demanding to know what I was laughing at. I leaned in, lowering my voice. Hey, little brother, want to know why I got through faster than you? Transfer me $10 for a bottle of water to wet my whistle, and I will tell you. How about it? He Xiaofang's voice trembled with rage. He Jingchen, don't you push your luck. Take it or leave it. I am leaving. I lifted my foot, ready to walk away. Wait, He Xiaofang gritted his teeth and transferred me $10. Now tell me. I grinned wickedly. It is because you are in Class 2. Just as I said that, the senior next to us called out with a puzzled look. Excuse me. Are you sure you are in Class 1? I checked the roster, but there is no He Xiaofang here. I lost it completely, bursting into loud laughter on the spot before casually turning around and walking away. He Xiaofang's face turned completely pale. Senior, I am sorry. I got it wrong. I am actually in Business Management Class 2. The senior suddenly realized her mistake and handed him the Class 2 roster. Grabbing his dorm key, He Xiaofang fled in absolute panic. Meanwhile, I had just made it to my dorm. I pushed the door open and a massive, pale wall of flesh blocked my path. A chubby guy slowly spun around, grinning from ear to ear. Oh, hey there, my new roommate is finally here. I am Han Yu. I swallowed the utter shock rising in my chest and forced a polite smile. Introducing myself as He Jingchen, Han Yu smugly waved his phone he got here yesterday, boasting about the top-tier welcoming seniors. He even grabbed a copy of the Jingchen University Campus Beauty Guide, but as he swiped his screen, his face suddenly fell. Bro, you have gone totally viral. You are famous all over the campus now. Without even looking up, I replied calmly that it was bound to happen eventually. With the top scorer title, keeping a low profile is impossible. No, not that. Han Yu panic whispered, they are roasting you to death. My head spun with questions. What did I do? Who did I offend? Han Yu handed me his phone. On screen was the freshman chat is He Jingchen, that top scorer. Just the fake young master of the He family? The real young master has already returned home. Yet he is still shamelessly clinging on, occupying someone else's nest and acting so arrogant. The He family raised an ungrateful wretch. Staring at those filthy words, my blood pressure spiked. I told my little sister to look into this immediately. Find out which bastard is stabbing me in the back. Han Yu cautiously leaned in. Bro, are you really the adopted son of the He family? That is right, I curled my lips. What, you scared? Scared of getting dragged down for sharing a room with me? Scared my ass. Han Yu sprang up instantly. I might be a bit chubby, but I have a sharp eye for people. Someone is obviously messing with you on purpose. Just say the word, what do you need me to do? Just tell me what you need your bro to do. Seeing him act like this, my anger subsided significantly. All right, fatty, you are a real bro. Right then, the system's voice rang in my mind, announcing that the source had been locked on. He went crying to his roommate, Lin Yu. Then Lin Yu stood up for him, leading a smear campaign to ruin my reputation in the freshman group chat. I knew it was him. A cold glint flashed in my eyes, trying to make my life difficult right at the start of the semester. Consider this beef officially started. While I packed up my things, I casually struck up a conversation with Han Yu. By the way, fatty, got any plans for tonight? Of course I do, Han Yu said, instantly perking up. The headliner of tonight's freshman gala is Jiang University's ultimate campus beauty, He Yuding. My hands froze instantly right in the middle of packing my books. My fifth sister is actually at Jiang University. Han Yu, meanwhile, was staring at me with wide, excited eyes. He pleaded with me to help him achieve his dream by getting a photo with the goddess. I immediately begged him for mercy. Stop it. My relationship with my sisters is incredibly tense. I really cannot help you out with this one. But Han Yu was not going to let me off that easily. He grabbed my arm and shook it so violently my head spun, forcing me to surrender. Fine. I promise I will do it. Just let go already. Han Yu's chubby face instantly lit up with a massive grin. He called me his absolute best bro and promised dinner was on him. Before we knew it, night had fallen. We barely managed to grab 2 seats in the back corner before the gala kicked off to a roar of loud, energetic music. Next up, welcome Jiang University's campus beauty, He Yuding. The crowd instantly went absolutely wild. Standing center stage, He Yuding gracefully raised the microphone while the music intro began to play. Her ethereal voice, tinged with a hint of huskiness, pushed emotions of regret and relief to the absolute limit. As her final note faded, Thunderous applause shook the hall. The host walked back onto the stage, beaming. Now, it was time for the interactive segment of the night. The big screen would randomly choose one lucky audience member to sing a duet with the goddess He Yuding. The spinning wheel had everyone holding their breath. A few seconds later, a massive number froze right in the center of the screen. 26. The crowd immediately burst into a frenzy, everyone frantically checking their own seat numbers. Han Yu looked down to see he was number 25, but instantly burst into wild ecstasy, slapping me hard on the back. Holy crap, you badass. Number 26. That's you. The slap nearly knocked me flat. Fatty, do you really have to be this excited? I am just hyped for you, man. Han Yu shoved me right out of my seat. With thousands of eyes staring at me, I walked toward the stage, feeling utterly miserable. The blinding spotlight made it tough to even keep my eyes open. I looked up instinctively, and our eyes met. He Yuding's lips seemed to twitch upward into a faint, subtle smile. I muttered to myself, asking the system if she was smiling. The system immediately delivered a critical hit. The system confirmed He Yuding did indeed smile, simply because she found my awkward walk up to the stage pretty funny. That stupid system. I am so not done with you, I roared silently. Just then, the host handed over a microphone, welcoming the lucky student. He asked for a quick self-introduction. I took a deep breath, forcing a smile that probably looked worse than crying. I introduced myself as He Jingchen. The moment those words left my mouth, the entire audience exploded like a boiling pot. Isn't He Jingchen that fake young master? How did he even get up there? Talk about shameless. Hearing the buzzing murmurs, I got incredibly annoyed. I knew this would happen. The system quickly pinpointed the source of the rumors. It was the student council president, Xiao Chang. He had been chasing He Yuding but got flat-out rejected. Yao Fang tricked him into believing I also had feelings for He Yuding. Xiao Chang completely lost his mind and set up this entire trap for me. I was so furious I almost cursed out loud right there. Me? Harboring feelings for He Yuding? That is ridiculous. That bastard. He did not even bother to get his facts straight before spreading rumors. A flash of anger crossed He Yuding's beautiful eyes. Xiao Chang and Yao Fang's schemes were painfully obvious to her now. As the chatter in the crowd grew louder, she suddenly stepped closer to me. Her voice rang clearly through the hall, asking which song I wanted to sing. I instinctively replied, "A Little Sweet." He Yuding nodded gently, signaling the backstage crew to cue up the music. I finally exhaled in relief. She scared me to death. My fifth sister's stage presence was totally different from the sharp-tongued snake she is at home. The smile on He Yuding's face froze instantly. This brat actually dared to call me sharp-tongued in his mind. Just you wait, He Jingchen. Meanwhile, I stood there clueless, wondering why the room suddenly felt freezing cold. The music started, and He Yuding's ethereal voice drifted through the air. I took a deep breath and joined the duet. Even though my voice shook a little, it had a nice, youthful innocence to it. Amazingly, all the noisy chatter from the crowd quieted down without anyone even realizing it. 3 minutes later, our duet came to an end. The entire venue instantly exploded with thunderous applause. Yuding grabbed my wrist with total confidence, pulling me right to the center of the stage. I stood there, completely dumbfounded. Fifth sister, what are you doing? You are drawing all the aggro to me. Hearing my inner screams, Yuding smirked, looking like she just pulled off the perfect prank. We bowed side by side. I tried to slip away, but Yuding grabbed my arm and dragged me straight off the stage. Slow down, fifth sister. Where are you taking me backstage? She turned with a smirk. Sixth brother, the student council has a dinner party later tonight. You are coming with me. Xiao Chang's face popped into my head. No chance. Fifth sister, I just got here and don't know anyone. Yuding's face fell with disappointment, her voice softening. Sixth brother, I just wanted to introduce you to some people. Are you really going to say no? Here we go with the guilt trip. Not a chance. But just as I opened my mouth to refuse, Yuding looked up. 5 million. Come with me and I will give you 5 million. Instantly, my eyes lit up. I was just worrying about my lack of escape money. Right on cue, the system sent its blessing. Congratulations, host, on securing a $5 million runaway fund. Yuding saw my greedy face and rolled her eyes in her head. Deal, fifth sister. You are officially my favorite. I patted my chest and gave her my word. Just at that moment, a figure suddenly stepped out from the shadows. Xiao Chang could not hide his jealousy anymore. Yuding, this dinner is strictly for the student council. Is it really appropriate to bring an outsider? Yuding snapped back, some things are none of your business. Xiao Chang, I suggest you stop playing these petty tricks. She grabbed me and marched right out of the backstage. Xiao Chang's face flushed with anger. Yuding knows I set up the duet, how could she possibly know? That bastard He Jingchen must have snitched on me. Half an hour later, Yuding and I pushed open the door to a private restaurant room. An older girl suddenly hugged her arm. Yuding, you are finally here. I have been waiting forever. Yuding answered coldly. Something came up. My eyes went wide the moment I saw her. This girl is incredibly beautiful. She is a total 10. Naturally, Yuding saw right through my dirty thoughts. She frowned and shoved her elbow hard into my ribs. Ouch! Fifth sister, what was that for? I winced in pain. Ignoring me completely, Yuding made the introductions. Lin Shu, this is my brother. He Jingchen. Sixth brother, meet my roommate and best friend, Lin Shu. Lin Shu slowly scanned my body up and down. So you are the famous little brother? I have heard so much about you. Nice to meet you, Lin Shu. I could only squeeze out a polite smile. Nearby, He Xiaofang watched us chatting happily, and a wave of pure rage shot straight to his head. Why? He is the legitimate son of the He family. Why does fifth sister only care about this fake? Fine. Since she looks down on me, I will prepare a little surprise. He Xiaofang lowered his head, a sinister smirk on his face, but I caught that hostile gaze immediately. Oh, look, it is little brother He Xiaofang. How did an outsider like you get in here? He Xiaofang's face turned completely black. Aren't you exactly the same? You are not on the student council either. What gives you the right to talk? Xiao Chang stepped in to smooth things over, claiming Xiaofang has outstanding abilities. He has always wanted to join. As president, I brought him along to show him how things work. I called him out. Getting familiar? That is just pulling strings to get through the back door. Xiao Chang's mouth twitched, and He Xiaofang trembled with rage. Right then, Yuding spoke up with a cold look. Since everyone is here, sit down. With her powerful aura dominating the room, nobody dared to make a scene. Everyone shut up and quickly sat down. Han Yu grabbed the roast duck and started stuffing his face, grease everywhere, as he mumbled that it was divine. I stared at him with pure disgust. With your weight, you still eat like that. Do not break the chair. He shrugged, saying it was nothing. Han Yu mumbled back with his mouth full. Meanwhile, Lin Shu was showing her phone to Yuding. The group chat claims your brother is a fake young master. Honestly, he does not look like one at all. He is hot and smart. It would be a waste not to hit on him. What group chat? Yuding frowned deeply. Here, look for yourself. Lin Shu handed over the phone, but the second Yuding read those chats, her face turned ice cold. Stay away from him. Do not get any ideas. Lin Shu looked totally confused. Didn't you hate him more than anyone? Now you're treating him like gold. Just shut it. She flicked her forehead. He is my brother anyway, which means he is off limits. Back off. While the two beauties joked in the corner, Xiao Fang and Xiao Chang exchanged a dark look. Right after, Xiao Chang grabbed a glass of red wine and approached Yuding with a smile. Yuding, I was wrong earlier. I sincerely apologize to you. Yuding shrugged, it is fine. We had company. Yuding clinked glasses with him, threw her head back, and down the wine. Let bygones be bygones. Not far away, I was chewing on a rib, watching the drama when my right eyelid began twitching wildly. System, what is this jerk planning? The system alarm blared frantically red alert. Host, there was something in that wine she drank. What the hell? I nearly choked on my rib. I knew those smiles were too fake, they set a trap. Right then, Yuding felt a sudden wave of heat explode inside her. She screamed inwardly in panic. That jerk Jingchen definitely knew and did not warn me. Just you wait. She had to get out immediately, but her knees buckled. She could not stand. Xiao Chang saw this and rushed to grab her. Yuding, are you okay? Let me help you rest. Get lost. Yuding shoved him with all her remaining strength and stumbled out. A cruel smile of triumph flashed across Xiao Chang's face, and he immediately ran after her. Lin Shu sensed something was terribly wrong and leaped out of her seat to follow them. Clinging to her last bit of focus, Yuding stumbled toward the backstage area. Shaking, she pulled out her phone and called me. Come to the backstage now, please. The 5 million is yours if you help me. 5 million? My voice jumped 8 octaves. Hang on, fifth sister, I will be there in 1 minute. I yanked fatty Han Yu away from his food. Stop eating. Fifth sister was just drugged by that trash. Han Yu lost his mind instantly. How dare that animal touch my goddess? I will shred him and feed him to dogs. He took off like a rocket, dragging me along as we sprinted. We burst outside and ran straight into a panicked Lin Shu. Jingchen, have you seen Yuding? I know where she is, follow me. We sprinted to the backstage. When we shoved the cracked door open, the scene inside froze all three of us solid. Lin Shu snapped out of it first and yelled, stop staring. Grab your sister and get her to the hospital, quick. I gritted my teeth and helped lift Yuding up. I threw my car keys to Han Yu, go get the Cullinan, fatty. The Cullinan? Han Yu froze, then bolted. Mission secured. He snatched the keys and dashed out the door. Moments later, I carefully loaded Yuding into the back seat, floor it to the nearest hospital. Once there, the doctor quickly neutralized the drug. Before I could even catch my breath, Lin Shu crossed her arms, drilling holes in me with her eyes. You are not planning to try anything funny while she is asleep, are you? I quickly raised 3 fingers to swear I am a total gentleman. But inside, my mental calculator was running wild. Are you kidding? That sweet $5 million is still on the line. Why would I ever upset my sugar mama? I quietly ushered them both outside. With the room finally quiet, I touched the stinging bite mark on my face. Man, fifth sister fights like a wild cat. But for that $5 million cash prize, every scratch was worth it. We are rich. Soon, I fell asleep right by her bedside. The next morning, Yuding's eyes snapped open. Flashbacks of last night hit her like a train. Mortified, she yanked the blanket right over her face. Oh God, what kind of crazy things did I do? A sharp knock on the door broke her panic. Still sleepy, I opened the door to find Han Yu and Lin Xiu holding breakfast bags. Lin Xiu winked, gesturing toward the bed. Is our sleeping beauty awake? How are you feeling? I am fine, Yuding muttered, though her bright red cheeks completely gave her away. Han Yu nudged me, whispering, Look, the campus queen is blushing like a ripe peach. She really was. I smirked and whispered back she must be remembering how she practically jumped me last night. Overhearing their whispers, Yuding gripped her blanket tightly, grinding her teeth in pure anger. Suddenly, the system alert chimed in. Warning, runaway funds have not been received. Host, please collect the debt as soon as possible. I turned into a total money grubber on the spot. Rubbing my hands, I leaned in shamelessly to ask Hang about the cash she promised yesterday. One look at my greedy face, and all her suppressed shame instantly exploded into pure rage. She snapped that I wouldn't miss a single cent. Great fifth sister's word is gold. Of course I trust her. I was completely blind to her murderous glare, but Lin Shu immediately sensed the heavy atmosphere. Her gut told her Hang was seconds away from exploding, so she quickly stepped in to suggest we eat breakfast first. Hang just woke up and needs to regain her strength. She snorted coldly, grabbed a steamed bun, and took a vicious bite. Once breakfast was done, the doctor gave her a clean bill of health and immediately processed her discharge. Right then, my phone buzzed with a text from Mom. Today was Hang's birthday, and everyone had to be home on time tonight. Absolutely no excuses. Fifth sister's birthday? The news froze me right where I stood. Suddenly, the system popped up to order me to find her a gift. I groaned inwardly. What was I supposed to get her? If I actually have to buy something, does it even count as a thoughtful gesture anymore? A spark of hope flared in Hang's heart, wondering what surprise this brat would bring. But then, my cheap inner thoughts echoed right in her mind. Her hopes shattered in an instant. Pure fury flashed through her. She blankly snapped for us to move. I was baffled. Why was she suddenly storming off so fast? Scratching my head in utter confusion, I had Fatty drive the girls back to campus. Meanwhile, I collapsed onto a concrete planter outside the hospital. System, I need backup here. What does fifth sister even like? It needs to be dirt cheap but look high-end. The system casually chimed in that Hang is a total gearhead. She actually holds the speed record on the treacherous, winding mountain roads of Jiangyu. Since the host unlocked the first goddess hidden storyline, the system has thoughtfully prepared a limited-time bonus mission. Complete it, and you will win the world's only limited edition purple Bugatti Veyron. My heart skipped a beat, and I could literally feel myself drooling. Then, the system dumped a bucket of cold water on my excitement. The supercar is already registered to Hang, equipped with a DNA lock that explicitly rejects the host. I almost jumped out of my skin in anger. After all this hard work, I'm literally just doing free labor for my sister. The system tried to sugarcoat it. Host, just focus on recovering that massive runaway fund. Think about Hing's gratitude, and how your status in the He family will soar at the thought of all that cash. I forced down my anger. Fine, you win. What's the mission? The goal is to deliver a homemade lunch to eldest sister at the He group. Even worse, while she eats, you have to recite a specific line right to her face. I froze. Was the system trying to get me killed? The system confidently reassured me, claiming this specific trick has a highly special effect on the eldest sister. The mission success rate is as high as 99.999%. I sighed heavily, rising like a doomed hero. Determined to secure fifth sister's ultimate birthday present, I marched forward, like a martyr going all in. Meanwhile, back at the campus gates, Hang and Lin Xiu stepped out, only for Xiao Chang to bug them, asking Hang if she was okay. He claimed he was worried sick, but Lin Xiu cut him off, snapping that Hang was completely fine. She added that Jingchen took great care of her all night. Hearing this, Xiao Chang's face instantly twisted in anger. He asked if she really stayed with him all night, demanding to know if my brother did anything inappropriate. Disgusted, Hing fired back, asking Xiao Chang if he was crazy since he was talking about her own brother. Without waiting for a response, she grabbed Lin Xiu and marched onto campus without a single backward glance. Xiao Chang stood frozen, his face twisting as dark, toxic jealousy completely consumed whatever sanity he had left. Back at my place, I went straight to work, tearing through the kitchen cabinets to find some solid ingredients. I prepped chicken, sweet and sour ribs, and hot egg drop soup, then skillfully heated up my wok with oil. As soon as the chicken hit the smoking wok, an incredible, mouth-watering aroma drifted all the way upstairs. Hiduadua and Haijia's noses twitched at once, and they literally floated down the hall toward the kitchen. The sisters watched in awe as I tossed the wok with one hand, stir-frying like a seasoned professional. My cooking was incredibly fluid. Tempted beyond belief by the rich smells, Hijia slowly began to sneak closer. Wow, what is this heavenly smell? It is way too good. But that sudden voice, it startles me so much my hands slip, and I almost drop the pan. Third sister. Fourth sister, you guys okay? We are fine. We are totally fine. The two sisters snap out of it instantly, scrambling over each other to help me carry the plates. I quickly step aside to make some room, packing the food I prepared for eldest sister into a thermos lunchbox. But the moment I set the plate down, Hedu Duo snatches a piece of chicken and stuffs it into her mouth. A second later, her eyes go wide. Fourth sister, you have to try this. The taste is absolutely out of this world. Hijia cannot wait and grabs a piece, too. Her eyes narrow into happy little crescents. By the time I finish packing the thermos and sit at the table, the sight before me leaves me completely speechless. Those two, usually so poised and elegant, are now tearing into the food like starving wolves. Their chopsticks are moving so fast they are just a blur. No way. If I let them keep eating like this, I won't even get a single taste of the soup. Making a split-second decision, I grab my chopsticks and charge into the fray. A bloodless war over delicious food has officially begun. After eating my fill, I let out a satisfied burp, grab the lunchbox made with love, and head out. Destination top floor of the He Group CEO's office. Like a thief, I press my eye against the crack in the door and peek inside. A woman with an intense aura is giving a report. President Hewaning, the gang group cannot hold on much longer. They are begging us for one more chance. Hewaning scoffs coldly and tells them to get lost. My mind instantly explodes with comments. System, quick, look, who is this boss lady? She's an absolute goddess. The system is speechless. Her name is Yi Yuan. She is your eldest sister's head secretary. A secretary. My eyes instantly light up. This is like Bulbasaur, walking into the Mickey Mouse clubhouse. Freaking magical, who would have thought? My inner thoughts actually drift right into Hewaning's ears. She looks up and locks eyes right with me, as I am sticking my butt out outside the door. The moment our eyes meet, my heart skips a beat. I am dead. Eldest sister's glare could literally kill. The system frantically blares an alarm host. You are here to deliver a loving lunch. Remember your identity, right? I instantly straighten my back and push the door open, oozing confidence. You can leave first, she commands. Hewaning calmly instructs Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan walks past me in her high heels, and my eyes are practically glued to her. Even after the office door closes, I am still grinning like an idiot. Have you seen enough? She asks. A bone-chilling voice yanks me back to reality. I shake my head like a rattled drum, begging eldest sister not to misunderstand. I didn't see a thing. A vein pops on Hewaning's forehead. What are you doing at the company? She demands. I immediately put on a flattering smile and respectfully place the thermos on her desk. Eldest sister, seeing you stress over that scumbag Jiang Jing makes my heart ache. So I especially made some home-cooked dishes and brought them over. Hewaning just frowns slightly. Fine, she says. She will accept it, but tells me to leave. I beg her not to be like that. My mission is not finished yet. I clear my throat, declaring that the bastard Jiang Xing has a death wish. If any other blind fools dare to mess with you, just say the word. I might not have many skills, but I guarantee I will be the first to dial 911 for you. Then I will quickly find a spot with full cell service, and we can run away together. The moment those words leave my mouth, the entire office falls into a dead silence. Hewaning rubs her temples. Enough, she says, appreciating the gesture but telling me to get out. Understood. I immediately oil my soles and bolt faster than a rabbit. Mission accomplished. That flawless Bugatti Veyron is finally mine. Meanwhile, back in the office, Hewaning stares at the thermos, her gaze turning unusually complex. How long has it been since she felt this kind of warmth? The moment she twists the lid open, a rich, mouth-watering aroma explodes into the air. Her stomach actually lets out an untimely rumble. Half doubting, Hewaning picks up her chopsticks and grabs a piece of the scallion oil chicken. The moment it enters her mouth, her pupils suddenly shrink. Filled with absolute amazement, she wonders if that little brat really made this himself. 10 minutes later, Hewaning has drained every last drop of the soup. Staring at the completely empty thermos, she thinks to herself that her sixth brother sure hides his talents well. Looks like there is going to be a pretty good show at fifth sister's birthday banquet tonight. At that moment, my foot has just stepped out of the company doors when the system's cold alarm suddenly blares in my mind. Warning: detected 7 high-threat targets currently approaching from the dark alley to your back left. Which punks dare to come looking for trouble with your grandpa? I pretend not to care at all and turn into a secluded alleyway. All 7 of them picked up the pace, tailing me and cornering me deep in the alley. I slowly scan the crowd. Seeing those 2 guys in the back wearing cheap plastic masks made me almost burst out laughing. President Xiao Qiang, little brother He Xiao Fang, aren't you boiling under those masks today? Xiao Fang shook with fear. President, he knows it's us. What do we do? Xiao Qiang ripped off his mask in pure, red-faced fury. So what if he knows? Jingchen, what did you do to Yuding last night? Last night? I idly scratched my ear, putting on a highly punchable face. I was definitely with fifth sister last night. What do you think we did? You are begging for death. Xiao Qiang's veins bulged with rage. Get him. Teach him a lesson. He Xiao Fang shrieked, egging him on from behind. That's right. Break his legs. The 5 hired thugs sneered, swinging their heavy clubs as they closed the gap. Kid, blame yourself for crossing a big shot you shouldn't have messed with. I locked onto the first thug charging. I slipped past his swinging pipe and instantly delivered a brutally sharp kick right between his legs. A second later, a blood-curdling scream echoed all the way down the narrow alley. The thug collapsed right there in pure agony, twitching on the pavement like a freshly cooked shrimp. Xiao Qiang's eyes twitched at the sight. Jingchen, you played dirty, you cheap coward. The remaining thugs froze, completely terrified by that lineage-ending kick, but they still managed to grit their teeth and charge. Right at that tense, hair-raising second, a sharp female voice echoed from the mouth of the alley. Freeze! Before I could even turn around, the world spun and my back slammed hard onto the concrete. A freezing cold gun barrel pressed hard against the back of my skull. Police! Everyone, hands on your heads and squat. Police! Xiao Qiang and his crew practically lost their minds, immediately throwing their hands up and dropping to the floor. Fighting through the blinding pain, I managed to squeeze out a grin uglier than a sob. Officer, look, this is a huge misunderstanding. I was only defending myself. Save it. Shai Bing's gun stayed deathly still. Yes, ma'am, I won't move. While she radioed for backup, I sneakily sized her up. Gorgeous face, insanely hot body, and crazy good fighting skills. This woman is absolute top tier. Almost like she felt my eyes on her, Xia Bing whipped her head around, glaring straight at me. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly flashed a harmless, goofy smile, but Xia Bing's brow furrowed. His mouth didn't even move. So where did I hear that voice? Swallowing her shock, she barked at me to behave. Look around again and I will gouge your eyes out. I wouldn't dare, ma'am. I gave up instantly, but inside my head, I was screaming. System, what is the deal with this hot cop? Those crystal-clear words echoed straight inside Xia Bing's head, making her pupils instantly shrink. System info unlocking. Who is this guy? Why can I hear what he thinks? The system's voice chimed in right away. Search complete, host. Target name is Xia Bing. She is a criminal investigation detachment officer. I felt a little let down. That is all? No spicy details about a secret identity? The system paused for a second. Hidden identity loading. Xia Bing is the eldest daughter of the powerful Xia family. She hid her identity to chase her dreams as a cop. She is also Hewaning's best friend. She even has plans with your sister today. My sister's best friend? I was totally stunned. Did my big sister actually commit a crime? Is she about to get dragged in for questioning? Meanwhile, Xia Bing's mind was churning with utter panic. Her true identity and her reason for being here were out. Even her private plans were laid bare. Years of training helped her keep a straight face, but her eyes turned freezing cold. Right on cue, police sirens wailed, echoing closer and closer from a distance. We were all packed into squad cars. Inside the interrogation room, Xia Bing stared at me, her face ice cold. Name? Officer, my name is Jingchen. I flashed a grin. Wipe that smirk off your face. Xia Bing slammed her hands on the metal table. Look where you are. I shivered as the smile froze on my face. Xia Bing narrowed her eyes. Jingchen, tell me everything that happened from the very beginning. I sat up bone straight and laid out the whole story. It was those scumbags who jumped me first. I was only defending myself. Xia Bing scribbled notes. Okay, your statement is recorded. We will look into it. If it checks out, you can call family to pick you up. Wait, what? Call my family? Despair completely filled my chest. It would be a miracle if the He family did not kick me while I was down. Wait, there is still my eldest sister. I literally just brought her a nice lunch this afternoon. Surely she would bail her little brother out for that lunch. But then, the system voice poured cold water right over my hopes. Host, based on personality analysis, the probability of her bailing you out is less than 5%. I suggest preparing for a night in the cell. Seriously, what a trash system. Gritting my teeth in anger, I watched Xiao Bing pretend to organize her files while my inner thoughts broadcasted straight to her ears. Her fingers gripped her pen, stopping for just a second before the corners of her mouth curled into a tiny smirk. She stood up and left the interrogation room, dialing Hai Weining to tell her there had been a minor accident. Her call mentioned a brawl she found on her way and how Hai Jingchen was somehow caught up in it. Hai Wanning's voice immediately dropped 8 degrees as she asked what trouble he caused now. Xiao Bing added that Hai Xiaowang was there too. She explained some thugs started a fight and dragged them both in, but Hai Jingchen was not in major trouble. My sister only needed to sign some papers to take him home. Hai Weining immediately promised she would be right over. With Hai Weining on board, Xiao Bing decided to strike while the iron was still hot. She reminded her of their shopping promise, and since Hai Weining needed a birthday gift anyway, she readily agreed. 10 minutes later, Hai Weining marched into the police station lobby in high heels, her face as cold as ice. I was lounging carelessly on a chair, totally glued to my phone and ignoring everything. Hai Weining looked away and asked Xiao Bing where Hai Xiaowang was. He and his friend got bailed out already, Xiao Bing said, curling her lip with clear disdain. Hearing that, Hai Weining's eyes turned icy. She nodded without a word and marched toward me with long strides. I was completely zoned into my game when a sudden, familiar scent drifted past my nose. Subconsciously sniffing the air, I wondered why it felt so familiar. A split second later, a hand clamped onto my ear. Leaping from the chair in pain, I begged my sister to go easy before she ripped my ear off. Hai Weining let go, her face blank as she asked if I was having fun before telling me to move. Rubbing my throbbing ear, I glared at her, feeling utterly betrayed. This absolute demon just ate the food I brought her, and now this. If she was not a woman, I swore, while the system frantically tried to calm me down. It urged me to think of the mission, the Bugatti, and the $10 million. Calm down my ass. This garbage mission was the sole reason. From today on, Hai Weining and I are completely finished. I huffed and turned my head away in protest. Xiao Bing stood nearby, watching my angry face and nearly bursting into laughter. She found it hilarious, while Hai Weining, instead of getting annoyed, felt strangely satisfied. Teasing her younger brother was actually pretty fun. She turned and headed out, telling me to follow. Xiao Bing choked back her giggles and hurried after Hai Weining. I struggled with myself for 3 seconds before hanging my head and following. 10 minutes later, I was slumped in the back seat, completely lifeless. To make matters worse, Officer Xiao Bing had actually climbed into the car as well. Up front, Hai Weining and Xiao Bing chatted happily, keeping the mood light and cheerful. Meanwhile, I sat huddled in the corner like an invisible ghost, radiating pure misery. It took me a solid few minutes to realize we were not heading home. I finally gathered up my courage, forced a fake smile, and asked my sister and Officer Xiao where exactly we were going. Hai Weining glanced at me through the rearview mirror, her voice carrying a trace of amusement. She asked if I was still ignoring them, making me cry out dramatically that she was wronging me. I declared her my favorite sister ever, while Xiao Bing turned around with a beaming smile. She announced we were shopping at Hanu Plaza and I was coming along. She also told me to stop calling her officer. My face fell as she told me to call her sister Bing Bing. I desperately begged to just wait in the car. Xiao Bing and Hai Weining rejected my plea in unison, smiling at each other as they looked at their designated pack mule. I was told to have some self-awareness. Doomed by evil capitalists. Slumped back into my seat in absolute despair, I looked exactly like a sad, dreamless fish. The second we stepped out of the car at Huanyu Plaza, those 2 women practically sprinted for the jewelry store. Honestly, I couldn't care less about those overpriced, shiny little rocks, so I just leaned against a pillar, complaining bitterly in my head. What's the point of these stupid rocks? Can you eat or drink them? Dang's mouth twitched, and she quickly pretended to examine a necklace to cover up her awkwardness. Meanwhile, Wanying pointed at a ring, saying the cut and clarity of the blue diamond were decent and that the lady had excellent taste. It was their top-tier cornflower blue diamond. I quietly peeked at the price tag. Over 50 million for a stupid rock. Eldest sister? Are you crazy? It would be so much better if you just gave that cash to me. That is enough money for me to travel around the world 800 times. Hearing my mental complaints, Wanying turned around and shot me a chilling glare. I instantly squeezed out a flattering, fake smile. Right then, Xiaobing held a necklace against her skin, asking me how it looked. I gave it a quick, casual glance and immediately started showering it with praise. It looks great. It looks amazing. Sister Bingbing, you look beautiful in absolutely anything. But in my heart, I was still muttering, isn't it just a piece of glass on a chain? What is the big difference? Xiaobing was so incredibly infuriated by my inner thoughts that she silently put the necklace back. Before we knew it, a whole hour had just slipped by. Checking her watch, Wanying said it was getting late. They should head back. Xiaobing nodded. I must report back to the station. Wish her a happy birthday for me. On the way home, watching the city streets flash past the window, I felt incredibly relieved. Finally, I was free. But I did not notice that Wanying was secretly watching me through the rearview mirror, a knowing smile playing on her lips. Stepping inside, Wanying spotted a figure in the living room, her voice filled with pleasant surprise. Oh, look, you are back. I spotted a woman leaning lazily against the sofa. It seemed like she had rushed straight from an event, not even having time to change out of her gown. Yeah, big sister, I literally just got off the plane. Hiyushi stood up, her gaze falling on me, basically a human coat rack buried under shopping bags. The exact moment our eyes met, I froze. My mind was screaming in sheer shock. Holy crap, system, slap me right now. I am not dreaming, am I? The system's voice sounded totally done with me. Host, calm down. Hiyushi is your second sister, an actress and a singer. And even though Hiyushi had been warned beforehand, actually hearing these bizarre, wild thoughts with her own ears still brought a quick flash of surprise and pure amusement to her face. Oh my god, this is a real-life, breathing superstar. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I have to shake her hand. I could literally brag about this for the rest of my life. Stealing my resolve, I rushed forward and suddenly dropped onto one knee. Second sister, your great name echoes like thunder. May I have the ultimate honor of shaking your hand? In an instant, the entire living room fell completely dead silent. The sisters could only twitch their mouths in disbelief, and Hiyushi was totally dumbfounded by my dramatic gesture. The quiet, reserved Jingchen in her memories versus the absolute clown standing right before her. Were they really the exact same person? Pulled by some inexplicable force, she actually reached out her hand. I immediately seized it with both hands and shook it with extreme care. I actually shook it. I shook the hand of an actual top-tier superstar. My entire life is officially complete, but the system just snorted disdainfully. Host, please stop this creepy fanboy behavior right now. Hiyushi couldn't even keep a straight face. This little brother was a total eye-opener. It took a long, awkward moment before I finally let go of her hand, standing up with a satisfied grin. But as my eyes scanned the room, I suddenly caught sight of Xiao Chang standing in the corner. My happy smile instantly vanished. I tilted my chin at him. Well, if it isn't the mighty President Xiao Chang. Tonight is a private dinner for our He family. Isn't it a little shameless for you to just crash our gathering uninvited? The fake smile on Xiao Qiang's face instantly froze, but before he could even speak, Diane quickly stepped in from the side. She explained that President Xiao came specifically to apologize to fifth sister, and both parents agreed to let him stay. Hearing that, I felt like I had swallowed a live fly. Absolutely sickening. Is that so? Well, the apology has been made now, hasn't it? Shouldn't President Xiao have the basic decency to leave? Xiao Qiang's face flushed deep red, his fists clenching tightly until his knuckles popped. Right then, a soft voice rang out. All right, sixth brother, calm down. Hiyushi gently patted my shoulder, reminding me that whatever grudge we had could wait, since today was our fifth sister's birthday. Hearing her words, the burning anger in my chest instantly cut in half. Xiao Qiang secretly breathed a sigh of relief, forcing another stiff, fake smile. A second later, Sunyi's voice broke the heavy silence. Dinner is ready, she announced with a bright smile, linking arms with Hewan Cheng as she led everyone to the dining room. At the dinner table, Hugh Cheng suddenly put down his spoon and noted that it was rare for Hyuxi to visit. He told her to chat more with Jingchen, since they are biological siblings after all. She gracefully wiped her mouth with a flawless smile. A sudden stroke of genius hit me, and I secretly called out to Xiao Tong. I asked the system to find some earth-shattering, juicy gossip about my second sister. Xiao Tong sounded absolutely thrilled. The system agreed, instantly activating its deep gossip radar. Around the dinner table, the family almost simultaneously froze with their chopsticks. Everyone held their breath in rapt attention. A moment later, the system's voice suddenly turned grave. It warned me that the gossip was absolutely explosive. Tomorrow night, after my second sister Hyuxi attends her college reunion, on her way back to the hotel, she will be targeted by an extreme stalker fan. According to the system's calculations, there is a very high probability her face will be severely disfigured. Instantly, the silver chopsticks in Sunui's hand clattered onto her plate as the rest of the family gasped in horror, their eyes filled with lingering dread, and even Hughesy herself felt a faint tremble in her hands. Such a disfigurement would be a total nightmare for a top celebrity. I quickly feigned concern. I asked why everyone stopped eating. Sunui was the first to react, forcing a stiff smile and saying it was nothing. She urged everyone to eat, blaming the hot soup. They snapped out of their daze, though their movements remained stiff. I was also stunned by the sheer gravity of this news. My second sister's career is currently at its absolute peak. I told Xiao Tong to immediately track down all information about that crazy fan. I have to step in and save her. I will show my second sister who she can truly rely on. Hearing my heroic thoughts, a sudden flash of approval crossed my second sister's eyes. But before that warm feeling could linger in their hearts, it was shattered by a sudden chilling sensation. Yuding was gripping her knife and fork, scraping them against her plate with a piercing screech, her eyes filled with jealousy. She fumed that I was so eager to help second sister, yet demanded 10 million from her. What a double standard. Right as I was fantasizing about heroically rescuing my second sister, a sudden shiver ran down my spine. I wondered why my back felt cold. Was the AC too high? Soon, the gift-giving segment began. Xiao Chang eagerly stood up, holding out an exquisite gift box and wishing Yuding a happy birthday with a small token of his appreciation. "Open it," he urged. I kept a straight face but was screaming internally for my system. What did this jerk buy her? The system instantly replied that it was a gorgeous Cartier diamond necklace. It symbolizes eternal love, host. He went all out. Eternal love? I sneered. Just a toad lusting after swan meat. Fifth sister is my benefactor. I cannot let her get stuck with this leech. So before my sister could even react, I snatched the box right out of his hands and eagerly tore open the wrapping. I joked that Chairman Xiao was too polite, and there was no way my sister could accept such a precious gift. Xiao Ung could not stand it anymore, asking how I could be so rude while looking anxiously at Hugh Chang and Sunui for backup. But Hugh Chang just calmly sipped his tea, acting as if studying the tea leaves was the most important thing. Meanwhile, Sunui and my sisters remained completely silent, their eyes bright with excitement as they waited for a good show. The gentle, elegant smile on Xiao Qing's face completely vanished, and a flash of cold fury darted through his eyes. I did not even care to look at him. Wow, fifth sister. Look at this. The legendary Heart of Eternity. This thing must be worth a small fortune, right? Hearing the praise, Xiao Chang instantly stood up straighter, a spark of hope reigniting in his eyes. Yuding wanted to refuse his gift, but the words got stuck in her throat. I quickly draped the necklace around her neck. "Oh my, fifth sister, why are you blushing? I will put it on for you," I said. Yuding looked stunningly angry. This guy is always like this, she thought. He never gives me a chance to say no, she thought. Meanwhile, I smugly whistled. This necklace is truly dazzling. Yuding unconsciously lowered her eyes, thinking about how I had personally put the necklace on her, and her irritation miraculously vanished. But a second later, she caught my next inner thought, and that little spark of warmth was instantly snuffed out. She could hear me chuckling in my head, planning to make her hand it over later. I'll resell it and make a fortune. Hearing that, Hai Yuding's cheeks instantly flushed bright red. She looked like she wanted to burn 2 holes straight through me. Then, Yui suddenly burst out laughing. My parents also let out stifled coughs. I was totally bewildered. Had Yui gone mad? Was her sense of humor really that low? Whatever. A good laugh keeps you young, right? But who knows, maybe one day she won't even have the chance to laugh. The moment that thought crossed my mind, the smiles of the entire family instantly froze. The atmosphere in the room plummeted straight to the freezing point. A flash of disdain hit He Xiaopeng's eyes, and he immediately pulled out his own shabbily wrapped gift. Fifth sister, I made this ceramic vase with my own hands. I really hope you like it. But Hai Yuding just took the box expressionlessly and casually tossed it onto the pile of gifts nearby. My heart was absolutely blooming with joy. He Xiaopeng's crappy vase got sent straight to the cold palace by fifth sister. But just as I was secretly gloating, He Xiaopeng suddenly turned his head and glared right at me. Brother, fifth sister dotes on you the most. Your gift must be incredibly precious, right? I immediately flashed a smug, punchable smile. Of course. The gift I'm giving has to be a massive surprise that will make her scream with excitement. This massive boast immediately grabbed everyone's attention. Only Hai Yuding felt her chest tighten as a wave of dark foreboding washed over her. What kind of crazy stunt is this guy trying to pull now? I took a deep breath and made my announcement. Fifth sister, my gift is a Bugatti Veyron, the Global Limited Edition. It is sitting in the garage right now. Hai Yuding's mind went completely blank. Could it be that one-of-a-kind purple divine car that a mysterious billionaire won at auction for nearly 100 million euros? I tilted my chin up. That is right. From today on, it is Fifth Sister's exclusive ride. But right then, Yui voiced the question on everyone's mind, sixth brother. Wait, wasn't that car bought by some mysterious big shot? Where on earth did you manage to get it? The smug grin on my face instantly froze. I'm dead. I frantically called out to my system in my head, how do I spin this? I can't exactly tell them I cooked a meal for our eldest sister and a Bugatti just fell from the sky, right? Those key words made everyone's eyes snap straight to Haiwan Qing. She quickly lowered her head, but her bright red ears completely gave her away. The corners of my other sisters' mouths curled up into identical amused smirks. Oh, so that is how it is. He Xiaopang quickly caught my embarrassment. Brother, why aren't you saying anything? Are you feeling guilty? Or did you get this car through some shady means? Xiao Chang immediately chimed in. Exactly. Taking such a massive risk just to please Hai Yuding is far too foolish. These two guys were totally playing team, trying to pin some blame on me. Knowing this, I quickly put on my most innocent, aggrieved face. Little brother, he Xiaopang, those words are hurtful. How can you ruin my reputation for no reason, claiming I got it through shady means? Do you have any proof? If I really did it and you didn't stop me, then you are guilty of harboring a criminal. That charge is way more serious than stealing a car. He Xiaopang was instantly left speechless by my counterattack. You are talking nonsense. I was just making a reasonable guess. Oh, so it was only a guess. I deliberately dragged out my words. You scared me to death. I thought you two had teamed up to frame me for some massive crime. Seeing them look like they had just swallowed a fly made me feel fantastic. I pulled out the keys. Don't worry, fifth sister. All the paperwork is perfectly in order. Come with me and let's take a look. Even though Hai Yuding found it absurd, she still trusted me unconditionally. Then let's go right now. Just like that, the group marched out toward the parking lot. He Xiaopang and Xiao Chang's faces were black with rage, and they could only grit their teeth and follow us. Once we reached the parking spot, I tossed the keys over to her. She gripped the keys tightly, unable to wait to get inside. The moment the engine started, its roar ignited the entire place. My other sisters couldn't hold back either, scrambling to climb in and experience the ride. For a moment, the massive garage was filled with laughter and joy. Only He Xiaopang and Xiao Chang's faces were incredibly dark and gloomy. Meanwhile, I stood off to the side, my heart absolutely bleeding. My ultimate babe magnet is gone just like that. System, you biased jerk. The gift-giving segment wrapped up beautifully amidst the roar of the engine. I hummed a little tune as I walked back to my room, ready for a hot bath while plotting how to swindle that necklace from Fifth Sister. But just as I stepped out of the bathroom, I heard voices coming from the hallway. My ears perked up. I pressed against the door to eavesdrop and heard he Xiaoing flattering our eldest sister, He Wanqing. He asked about tomorrow's East City project bidding conference. Could he tag along to broaden his horizons? He wanted to stay by her side and learn a thing or two. But to his surprise, He Wanqing's voice was cold as ice. The bidding conference involves commercial secrets. Bringing a newcomer is just not convenient, she said. A wicked smirk curled on my lips. A sudden thought flashed through my mind. Since He Wanqing didn't want to bring him, I was going to give him a hand and cause some trouble for her while I was at it. Making up my mind, I yanked the door open. Caught completely off guard, the two of them jumped in shock. As Hai Wanqing's gaze swept over my toned muscles, a flush of red crept up her ears. She asked how I could come out looking like that, but I didn't even notice, casually throwing an arm around He Xiaoing's shoulder. Oh, come on, He Wanqing, just let him go. Isn't it a great opportunity for him to gain some experience? He Xiaoing immediately squeezed out a grateful smile. Eldest sister, our sixth brother is right. He promised he wouldn't cause any trouble. Looking at my cheeky smile, He Wanqing's temple twitched slightly. After a moment of silence, she spoke coldly. Fine, he can go. But you have to come along too, little brother. The moment she said that, the smile on my face froze. This wasn't how the script was supposed to go. She told me I should broaden my horizons too. He Wanqing cast a meaningful glance at me, then turned and walked away. I immediately put on a flattering smile and watched her leave. You got it. I promise I won't embarrass you, eldest sister. But the moment I turned around, He Xiaoing violently shoved my hand away. His voice dripped with resentment. Jin, if you know what's good for you, get the hell out of the He family. You still want to compete with me? The smile on my face instantly vanished. I am staying right here. What are you going to do about it? Die mad. He Xiaoing was so furious, his face turned completely livid. He shot me a venomous glare, turned, and slammed his door shut with a bang. But right at that moment, my second sister's door diagonally across the hall quietly opened. Hoshi walked up to me and poked her finger directly onto my abs. I shuddered violently. Second sister, what are you doing? Why are you hiding? Hushi crossed her arms and said she didn't expect this. Little brother, you developed quite nicely, haven't you? Help. Second sister is like a starving tiger pouncing on its prey. I screamed frantically in my mind. Hushi was amused and rolled her eyes in exasperation. Do you think your second sister is that desperate? Besides, even if I did make a move on you, you would be the one hitting the jackpot. I blinked, thought about it, and realized she had a point. The panic on my face instantly turned into a grin. Hey, second sister is right. Please continue. Continue my foot. Hushi laughed in exasperation. Let's talk business. Tomorrow night, I have a college reunion and you're coming with me. A college reunion? I was stunned. What kind of crappy luck is this today? I haven't even sorted things out with eldest sister. And now second sister is drafting me, too. She said it was settled. Dress handsomely for me. Don't embarrass me. With that, she didn't even give me a chance to refuse, turning around stylishly and heading back to her room. I stood there dumbfounded. Whatever, who cares? It is a good chance to protect second sister up close and take care of that crazy fan while I am at it. No longer stressing over it, I hummed a tune and went back to my room. As soon as the door closed, I frantically yelled in my mind, Xiao Tang, what the hell was that hidden mission just now? The system immediately reported. At tomorrow night's reunion, Hushi will be publicly humiliated by her former suitor, Jiang Wenji. The host must pretend to be her boyfriend and make a badass rescue. The mission reward is basic combat skills. Hearing this, I almost jumped out of bed. Could this Jiang Wenji be someone He Xiaoing set up to mess with second sister? The system cheerfully confirmed it. Spot on. It's exactly Jiang Wenji and He Xiaoing who teamed up to pull this stunt. All right then, these two bastards just cannot go a day without asking for a beating. My eyes blazed with fury as I accepted the mission. Fast forward to the bidding conference. Just as we sat down in the He family's exclusive section, my eyes locked onto the Xiao family sitting not far away. I immediately asked the system Xiao Tong, who is that guy standing next to the balding old man? The system replied instantly. The one leading is the Xiao family head, Xiao Nan. Next to him is Xiao Chang's older brother, Xiaoyi. I instantly perked up. He looks a bit better than his brother. Wait a minute, was that guy just making eyes at my eldest sister? The system immediately reassured me. Rest assured, host, Xiaoyi has ulterior motives toward Miss Haiwen Qing, but it is a terminal case of unrequited love. Oh man, another victim of my eldest sister's crazy charm. Right then, Hewan Qing shot an icy glare over at Xiaoyi. Her gaze was sharp as a knife, scaring him so much he shuddered and quickly looked away. 10 minutes later, the host shouted in a booming voice. Distinguished guests, next up is our main auction event, the plot of land on the east side of Hayat Tiandi, number 20,007. Starting bid is 1 million. He Wanting slowly opened her eyes, a cold glint flashing in her deep pupils. She radiated absolute determination, tapping her fingertip lightly on the armrest. 1 million. Her assistant steadily raised the bidding paddle. His voice was quiet, yet it echoed clearly throughout the hall. The moment he spoke, several developers followed suit. 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. The price climbed steadily. Yet He Wanting remained perfectly composed, always waiting until the final second before the gavel fell to signal her assistant to add another million. Eldest sister is just overflowing with badassery, and I cheered frantically in my mind. Troll, quick, check if those bastards from the Xiao family have turned green yet. Scam results show Xiao Nan is still relatively calm, but Xiao Sai is sneaking peeks at your eldest sister again. His stare is part obsession, part resentment. I felt nothing but sheer contempt. Ugh, he needs to look in a mirror and see what trash he is. How dare he have designs on my eldest sister? Right then, Xiao Sai suddenly stood up and raised his paddle high, his voice deliberately impassioned. 8 million. Inside the venue, a collective gasp echoed through the crowd. Hewaning furrowed her brows, clearly surprised by this disruption, but Xiao Sai met her gaze without flinching, squeezing out a self-righteous, affectionate smile. Oh, hell no. This bastard still dares to make eyes at her. I instantly lost it. Eldest sister, crush him. Show him why the flowers are so red. Chao hurriedly advised host, calm down, impulse is the devil. Your eldest sister knows what she is doing. Hewaning completely ignored him, giving her assistant an even more decisive hand signal. 10 million. The assistant's voice remained steady and powerful. 12 million. Xiao Sai practically roared. His eyes locked onto eldest sister, filled with a sickly, paranoid provocation. All eyes locked onto my eldest sister. She simply set down her water glass, parted her red lips, and whispered to her assistant. The assistant immediately raised the paddle. 20 million. The entire venue erupted at once, raising the bid by 8 million in a single breath. This was more than just a crushing display of wealth. It was a blatant, naked humiliation. Xiao Sai's face instantly turned as pale as a sheet. He slumped into his chair, utterly crushed, the paddles slipping to the floor. Ha ha, my eldest sister is absolutely legendary. My heart was practically bursting with joy. Dumbfounded now, aren't you? You are way too green to mess with my sister. This treasure is mine now. I will dig it up later and make it a family heirloom. Then Xiao Wang splashed cold water on my parade. Host, please control your face. You are grinning like the village idiot. What do you know? This is the sweet taste of victory. How could a broken system like you understand the joy of getting rich overnight? Beside me, He Wanting was about to stand up, but hearing the second half of my inner thoughts, she paused for a split second. She sneered inwardly. This kid really dreams big, thinking he can sneak off and dig up treasure behind my back. No way. 20 million going once, 20 million going twice. The host scanned the room. 20 million for the third time. Sold. Congratulations to the He group. Only then did He Wanting slightly raise her chin. She stood up gracefully to sign the contract. Smirking, I urged Chu Wong in my mind, scan him for me again. That Xiao Sai kid, does he want to crawl into a hole and die right now? Quick, let me enjoy this, the system reported. Host Xiao Sai's heart is dead as ashes. He has suffered a devastating blow. What a poor little guy. I clicked my tongue with zero sincerity. Serves him right. Just as He Wanting turned around after signing the contract, her sharp gaze caught me looking around with a nosy, gossipy expression. She followed my gaze, and sure enough, Xiao Wang was sneaking towards Xiao Sai. Seeing this, I flashed a wicked grin. Little brother Xiao Wang, what are you dawdling for? Eldest sister is done. Aren't you going to keep up? Xiao Wang's entire body stiffened up. Squeezing out a fake smile uglier than crying, he scrambled back to walk right beside us. He Wanting didn't slow her pace, but her fingers quietly clenched as she walked. As I passed by Xiao Sai, I deliberately slowed down to drop a line. Thanks for letting us win. Young Master Xiao, my condolences, by the way. Xiao Sai's eyes instantly filled with bloodshot rage as he glared at me. Bastard. Back in the car, Xiao Wang curled up in the corner, his eyes filled with pure, unconcealed resentment. I just kicked back, crossed my legs, and checked in with the system. Xiao Wang, what exactly is He Xiao Wang plotting? Is he after that treasure land too? The system answered instantly, confirming my guess. After all, he is a reincarnator. Nobody understands the mind-blowing value of that plot better than him. Unbelievable. Sneaking around in the shadows like this is incredibly shady. But wait, something still does not add up. Why go through all that trouble to get close to the Xiao family? The system praised him, saying that is how high-level games are played. He Xiao Wang is dead set on targeting the Xiao family for 3 big reasons. First, he just returned to the He family and lacks a solid foothold, so he doesn't risk pulling anything right under your eldest sister's nose. Second, if the treasure ends up in the He family's hands, he won't get a single shred of it. And the third reason is the most explosive secret of all. From his memories before reincarnating, he holds a bone-deep, terrifying fear of the He family and specifically your eldest sister. I froze, then burst into a silent, gloating laugh. My sister is an absolute beast. But who knew? Hearing my inner thoughts made He Wanting's head completely spin. She slammed her foot on the brakes, sending He Xiao Wang's head flying forward to smack hard against the front seat. He rubbed his bruised forehead, whining to the driver's seat. Big sister, are you okay? Meanwhile, I was roasting them mercilessly in my head. What on earth is this woman doing? And why is this coward He Xiao Wang pretending to be some innocent little bunny? He Wanting narrowed her eyes. A cold, dagger-like glare shot straight my way, making me shudder. System, did my sister just death glare me? Help. The system chimed in, gloating. You bet she did, host. Miss He Wanting's death stare hit its target. Surprised? Well, surprise my ass. I will curse your 18 generations of code, I screamed internally. Now I see why He Xiao Wang is as terrified of my sister as a mouse meeting a cat. That was no mere look. That was a mental critical strike, complete with freeze and armor-piercing effects. Who could possibly survive that? Hearing my internal panic, the corners of He Wanting's lips curled up slightly. Am I really that terrifying? Glancing at me in the rearview mirror and comparing my current panic to my earlier smug arrogance brought a rare ripple of amusement to her heart. I took a lazy stretch, shoved my hands deep into my pockets, and swaggered onto the campus with an arrogant strut. Meanwhile, He Wanting, still in the car, watched my punchable back as a nameless fury rushed to her head. This little brat used to be such a punching bag. How did he get so shameless and slippery? She muttered a curse, then slammed the gas pedal straight to the floor. Back on my end, I grabbed my lunch and sat down in the cafeteria. Han Yu chuckled, leaning in close. Brother, hey, let me tell you something. You are trending again. I was totally lost. What did I do this time? Han Yu mysteriously flashed his phone screen, asking if I remembered our freshman gossip group. Some girl joined the chat today claiming to be He Xiaowang's girlfriend. I nearly spat out my lunch. The braised pork I just picked up dropped back into my bowl with a plop. A girlfriend? That little brat actually found one? Han Yu anxiously shoved his phone right in my face. Brother, hey, I am not kidding. See for yourself. I quickly snatched his phone. My fingers flew across the screen. Holy crap, she had spammed dozens of voice notes. Han Yu winked, lowering his voice. The main point is out of those dozens of messages, 9 out of 10 are roasting you, calling you out with some incredibly harsh words. When did I ever offend anyone like that? Han Yu started mimicking her voice perfectly. She even talked big, promising she would personally come teach you a lesson and beat you down every single time she runs into you. Is this girl insane? System, look up her background for me. The system responded with a target profile. Jiangya, daughter of the Jiang family. Personality tags, arrogant, impulsive, love, brained. Danger level, 3 stars. The eldest daughter of the Jiang family. That brat He Xiaowang just returned and already landed a firecracker of this level. Han Yu's massive face suddenly got way too close, asking if that crazy woman had actually scared me out of my mind. Terrified. My ass. I snapped back to reality and grumpily shoved a massive spoonful of rice into my mouth. It's just a minor scene. Nothing to panic about, so let's just eat. But right then, a shrill, explosive voice pierced through the loud cafeteria, screaming that He Jingchen actually dared to show his face at Jingchen University. You have got some nerve. I could not even be bothered to look up, a chicken nugget still half swallowed in my mouth. I mumbled through food, wondering where this idiot came from. Those words reached Jiang Ya's ears loud and clear. She stormed right over and yanked me straight out of my seat. He Jingchen, who are you calling an idiot? I shuddered, slapping her hand away with a sharp smack. My face was cold, dripping with pure disgust. Getting all handsy in broad daylight, classmate. Please mind your image. Jiang Ya's face turned bright red with fury. He, Jingchen, you are looking down on me, right? I could not be bothered to waste my breath. I just sat back down and kept eating. He Jingchen. Jiang Ya's screams suddenly pitched way higher. Instantly, half the cafeteria looked over. Isn't that the fake young master from the He family? That girl is the eldest daughter of the Jiang family. He Xiaofang's girlfriend. Holy crap, a live broadcast of rich family drama. Hearing the surrounding gossip, Han Yu swallowed nervously. Brother He, what do we do? I did not even lift my head. Nothing, just treat it like a passing fart. Those words completely set Jiang Ya off. New grudges and old hatreds rushed to her mind. She raised her hand fiercely, and several girls behind her instantly surrounded me. Every single one of them glared at me. Although Han Yu was scared and felt guilty, he still stood up to shield me. Pretty sister, calm down. Why not take it out on me instead? I have pretty thick skin. But Jiang Ya's face was full of pure disgust. Get lost, you damn fatty. Just looking at you makes me sick. Han Yu's smile instantly froze, and his temper flared up too. You think I'm disgusting? Then why don't you get the hell away? Weren't you the ones crowding around us? Trying to start something, huh? With just one sentence, he left Jiang Ya completely speechless. Good bro, you are a real one. I gave Han Yu a mental thumbs up, then stood up slowly. All right, fatty. Arguing with this kind of trash just lowers our standards. Let's go eat somewhere else. But just as I was about to turn around, a sudden commotion broke out at the edge of the crowd. Jiang Ya acted like she had found a lifeline and grabbed onto He Xiaofang's arm. Xiaofang, you are finally here. I was just helping you teach this ungrateful jerk a lesson. But when He Xiaofang's gaze swept over me, his face instantly turned hypocritical. Brother, I am really sorry about Jiang Ya. She is young and knows no better. Please do not stoop to her level. I immediately sneered. Is that so, little brother Xiaofang? Since your girl does not know any better, please do a better job of disciplining her next time. Do not let her out to bite people randomly. The surrounding crowd instantly erupted into roaring laughter. Jiang Ya stomped her feet in absolute rage. He Jingchen, who are you calling a dog? I instantly threw my hands up, looking completely innocent. Whoever barks is the dog. Fatty, let us go. If we stay any longer, our IQs will drop. You got it. Han Yu immediately puffed out his chest and followed me. We walked out of the cafeteria under everyone's watchful eyes. He Xiaofang's gaze was dead fixed on my back, his hands clenching into tight fists, but Jiang Ya kept relentlessly shaking his arm. Xiaofang, You should have beaten him up just now. Make him understand who the real master of the He family is. Surprisingly, He Xiaofeng forcibly suppressed his anger and put on a doting smile again. All right, Jiang Ya, be good. Let us not argue with him. It will only lower our status. Come on, what do you want to eat? I will buy. Jiang Ya immediately beamed with joy. You are the best to me, Xiaofeng. Meanwhile, in a corner, He Yuting was eating her meal slowly. Sitting across from her, Lin Shu had a look that said she loved watching the drama unfold. Ting, which of your two brothers are you siding with? The hand He Yuting used to pick up food suddenly paused, her eyes flashing with displeasure. What do you mean siding with? I warned you not to get any ideas about my brother. But Lin Shu fearlessly continued. Okay, I won't mess with your precious brother. I just think that Jingchen, that kid is actually pretty interesting. Lin Shu. He Yuting's grip on her chopsticks suddenly tightened, making a sharp cracking sound. Seeing that the situation was turning sour, Lin Shu immediately threw her hands up in surrender. All right, I won't tease you anymore. Only then did He Yuting shoot her an annoyed glare. She lowered her head, aggressively poking the rice with her chopsticks. Back in the dorm, Han Yu slumped in his chair, looking worried. Brother He, military training starts tomorrow. Have you got all your gear ready? I was tapping furiously on my phone, not even looking up. What stuff? Just bringing myself, right? What else is there to pack? He patted his own face, looking deeply pained. Sunscreen. If this handsome face gets ruined by the sun, who knows how many girls' hearts will break? I was amused. Fatty, listen to your bro's advice. Don't waste your energy with a face like yours. The only difference is between a sunburned pig head and a regular pig head. Brother He. Han Yu angrily turned his head away. Right at that moment, my phone suddenly rang. The moment I answered, a cold voice came through. Get to the school gate. Your second sister is almost there. I hung up and bolted from the dorm. Over by the gate, Hiyuki was leaning against the car door, scanning the crowd through her sunglasses. She radiated an incredibly intense aura. I was just about to raise my hand and call her name. But some blind idiot beat me to it, rushing right up to Hiyuki. He Xiaofeng's face was full of pleasant surprise. He asked if she came just to pick him up. Holy crap, this idiot is actually trying to steal my thunder. I cursed him out in my mind, but sped up my pace as I got closer. Then Hiyuki's cold voice cut in. No, little brother Xiaofeng. His smile instantly froze, and the disappointment in his eyes completely overflowed. God, that was satisfying. I laughed wildly in my head before calling out second sister. I am here, not a single second late. Hiyuki's lips curled into a tiny smirk before she quickly forced her face back to normal. She gave a soft grunt of approval. Seeing this, He Xiaofeng realized he was flattering himself, but as a reincarnator, his skin was incredibly thick, so he immediately switched to obedient mode. He asked if we were going to a party, begging to tag along. Just as expected, the fox cannot hide its tail. System, what kind of dirty trick is this bastard planning? The system reported that he wanted to isolate me. He will network, then drag your name through the mud. Danger level 4 stars. Trying to play the fake innocent with me? Watch me wreck his entire plan tonight. Hearing my inner thoughts, a hint of amusement flashed in Hiyuki's eyes. Since Xiaofeng wants to go too, she said he could tag along. I looked at the empty driver's seat, then at Hiyuki in the passenger side, and my brain short-circuited. Sensing my confusion, Hiyuki turned her head. You drive, navigation is set. Hearing this, my heart practically sang with joy. I numbly slipped into the driver's seat, tapping my fingers rhythmically on the wheel. Fate was seriously on my side today. He Xiaofeng stared at my excited back, feeling a terrible sense of dread. A second later, a wicked smirk crossed my lips. I slammed my foot on the gas. The engine roared, and the car shot forward like a bullet. Hiyuki simply raised an eyebrow, remaining perfectly calm, but He Xiaofeng let out a quiet groan, turning totally pale. He started screaming in the back seat. I caught his eye in the rearview mirror. Can't handle it already. Huh. I haven't even used my ultimate drifting moves yet. Just then, a heavily potholed road appeared right up ahead. Scanning the road, instead of braking, I floored the gas and charged straight through. With a massive bang, the car jolted violently. He Xiaofeng's head slammed hard against the window with a loud thud, instantly turning his hair into a total bird's nest. The guy looked completely pathetic. I was cheering inside, but on the outside, I put on a highly concerned face. Oh, little brother Xiaofeng, this road is pretty rough. Do you need us to pull over for a break? Hearing my cheeky thoughts, the smile on Hiyuki's red lips stretched even wider. Her fingers tapped the window, silently beating a happy rhythm. He Xiaofeng croaked that he was fine, claiming I drove very steadily. He Xiaofeng gritted his teeth, desperately fighting his churning stomach and the throbbing pain in his head. His voice was weak enough to make him sound half dead. I sneered inwardly, the real show hasn't even started. Right then, I yanked the steering wheel hard to the left, making the tires let out a loud, ear-piercing screech. The car drifted smoothly into the outer lane, the heavy force slamming Xiaofeng hard against the side door. He was pinned flat against it, dry heaving uncontrollably. Even Hayuki swayed a bit, though a spark of surprise lit up behind her sunglasses. I asked with forced casualness, "Second sister, this river view is pretty incredible, right?" Hayuki smoothed her hair, trying hard to hide her laughter as she agreed. Xiaofeng gasped heavily for air, staring absolute daggers at my back. The guy fumed that this trash was doing it on purpose. An eerie silence fell over the vehicle. He desperately forced his breathing to steady, trying to save face in front of Hayuki. He asked if we were heading to the Cloud Club. The Cloud Club. Alarm bells immediately went off. He really is trying to network. Not on my watch. But before I could even say a word, Hayuki shut him down. "Tonight we are going to the Hyatt Hotel." This hit him like a blue bolt. In his memory, Hayuki's parties were always at the Cloud Club. I was completely stunned too. What was going on? Why did my sister suddenly change the venue? The system warned that Hayuki's parties for the past 5 years were all at the Cloud Club. The data did not match. Who cares? That was pure luck anyway. But seeing Hishang look so deflated and dumbfounded is priceless. I felt absolutely amazing. Right then, Yushi adjusted her sunglasses, tilted her head, and stared straight at me. "Hey, Jingchen, focus on driving. You've had your fun. If we are late to this party, you will pay." My hands on the steering wheel instantly broke out in a cold sweat. How on earth did she figure it out? "Do not worry, second sister. We will be on time." 15 minutes later, the elevator doors at the Hyatt Hotel slid open, and the luxury absolutely blew me away. Instantly, the noisy room went completely silent. Every single eye in the room locked onto us. After a brief, heavy silence, everyone stood up and rushed toward Yushi. A faint smile touched Yushi's lips as she greeted her old classmates. Honestly, Mother of God. Second sister's entrance is way too explosive. "Oh, right system. Tell me where that bastard Jiang Wenji is hiding." Target locked at 3 o'clock, wearing a designer suit. Danger level 5 stars. I followed the prompt and glanced over. Some flashy guy was swirling his wine glass with a fake smile, his eyes filled with sickening greed. While I was plotting how to ruin his night, Hishang beat me to it, introducing himself as Yushi's little brother. A guy in glasses looked Hishang up and down, asking why they had never seen Yushi's brother before. Hishang just smiled shyly. He claimed he was just introverted and rarely went to parties, so it made sense they had never met. He asked them to look out for him, but Yushi totally ignored his little act and walked straight to the main table. I moved fast, sliding right into the prime VIP seat directly to my second sister's left. This prime spot belongs to me. Keeping my second sister safe and well-fed tonight is my personal responsibility. Yushi caught my move and a tiny, knowing smile flashed in her eyes. Watching himself get pushed aside, Hishang's face went completely stiff. He could only sit awkwardly on the sidelines. Meanwhile, I unleashed my inner foodie king, absolutely destroying the gourmet dishes on the table. Around us, the party really started to heat up. People were toasting and chatting, making the whole room incredibly lively. Yushi kept to herself, offering only brief, polite replies. I, on the other hand, was putting on an absolute masterclass in eating. Every single plate in front of me was picked clean, but just then, a loud, grating voice boomed across the room. Someone yelled Yushi's name. I dropped my crab leg instantly and sat up straight. Jiang Wenji sauntered over, swirling his glass, boasting that he had canceled dinner with the mayor just to see her. He claimed his devotion was undeniable, but Yushi did not even bat an eye. She told him to keep his dignity because they were not close. The brutal rejection froze the smile right on his face. Not close. He sneered that she was turning her back now that she was famous, questioning if her taste had changed. He accused her of liking freeloading gigolos instead. The moment those words left his mouth, the entire room fell dead silent. Shocked eyes darted back and forth between the three of us. Meanwhile, Hishang was grinning like an idiot, clearly enjoying the drama. How dare this guy call me a gigolo? I was absolutely fuming. I was ready to slam the table and lose it, but Yushi suddenly tapped the back of my hand 3 times. I got the signal. A shiver ran straight down my spine. A cold smirk played on my lips. The real show was about to start. Right in front of everyone, I grabbed my second sister's hand. Yushi's face flushed bright red, and her eyes looked ready to grind my bones into dust. Ignoring her glare, I declared to that greasy guy that Yushi was officially mine, Jingchen's exclusive girlfriend. Got a problem with that? Instantly, the entire room went dead silent once again. Nearby, He Shang's eyes nearly popped out of his head. Jiang Wenji trembled with pure rage, pointing a finger at me, but I did not give him a single second to speak. Comparing looks, you are 18 galaxies behind. Comparing money, you are not even fit to shine my shoes. I leaned in and whispered that he simply could not compete with my looks in any way. My rapid-fire verbal beatdown left Jiang Wenji totally speechless. Then, a classmate tremblingly asked Yushi if everything I said was true. Instantly, every single eye locked onto my second sister. Yushi stared straight into my eyes without blinking, and yet, she did not even try to pull her hand away. My heart finally settled. Grinning, I walked right up to a pale-faced He Shang. The guy was practically shaking with fear. He stammered, asking what I wanted. I just flashed a devilish smile and clamped my hand tight on his shoulder. Xiao Fang, little brother, don't be nervous. Just tell them, have you seen my girlfriend or not? A sharp pain made beads of sweat instantly roll down Xiao Fang's face. Seeing his miserable state, Yushi actually couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. And that laugh became the final straw that broke the camel's back. Practically sobbing, Xiao Fang squeezed out 2 words through his gritted teeth. That is right. Nailed it. I pulled Yushi back into the crowd and raised our clasped hands high. Hear that? Little brother Xiao Fang personally confirmed it. Yushi is my, Jingchen's, girlfriend. Even though she knew it was just an act, Yushi's body still trembled violently. A strange electric current surged through her body, making her ears burn hot. She could only hurriedly turn her face away. Jiang Wenji's eyes were bloodshot. Did we really think we could fool him by teaming up with some random trash? Trash? My eyes turned cold. Jiang Wenji, watch your mouth. Xiao Fang, my dear little brother. Everyone heard what was just said loud and clear. Are you questioning her? Or do you think the words of our He family are just a load of crap? Fine, fine, fine. Jiang Wenji laughed out of pure rage. He threatened to let the whole city see just what kind of trash this big star was hooked up with. Jiang Wenji viciously smashed his champagne glass onto the floor. With a twisted expression, he whipped out his phone. Click, click. The camera shutter sound went off like crazy. Yushi's heart skipped a beat in shock. She instinctively tried to break free, but I caught onto her thoughts as she pulled at my hand. How could I let my second sister do this kind of dirty work? I am the professional here. In that split second, I flashed in front of Jiang Wenji like a phantom and snatched his phone in one smooth motion. He yelled, demanding what I was doing and to give it back. Jiang Wenji lunged at me, clawing wildly, but I could not even be bothered to look at him. I just casually stuck my right foot out. Thud! Jiang Wenji face planted right into the dirt, eating a mouthful of floor. I told him I would hold onto the phone for him. I casually tossed the phone in my hand and strutted back to Yushi, looking completely smug. I stared at her with sparkling eyes, my face practically begging her to hurry up and praise me, but she just stared at me, then glanced at Jiang Wenji on the floor. She suddenly closed her eyes and let out a long, heavy sigh. My heart skipped a beat. What did my second sister's sigh mean? Did she think I had not taught him enough of a lesson? Was I too merciful? Thinking of this, I shot her a firm look that said, leave it to me, making Yushi feel her vision go dark. Before she could even open her mouth, she saw me turn around full of fighting spirit and march toward Jiang Wenji, who had just scrambled up. He asked what I wanted now, his face green with fear and his voice trembling on the verge of tears. I grinned, flashing my pearly whites. Hey, don't be nervous. As for the damages for this phone, my little brother Xiao Fang will settle the bill for you later. Hearing this, Xiao Fang looked like he had been struck by lightning. His body stiffened violently as he locked eyes with me. I smiled as brightly as the sun and called out to Xiao Fang, my dear brother. Your brother-in-law left in a hurry and forgot his wallet. Get me some cash for this, will you? Hearing that grating brother-in-law label, Xiao Fang's face turned purple with rage. Seeing him not moving an inch, I immediately raised my voice and asked if Xiao Fang heard me. You wouldn't refuse your brother-in-law such a tiny favor, would you? We are family, after all. Under the gaze of countless eyes, he could only grit his teeth and squeeze out 2 words. He promised to pay. I replied that is more like it, clapped in satisfaction, and walked back to Yushi. I grabbed her wrist naturally and led her outside. That warm touch made Yushi's breath hitch. For a moment, she actually forgot to pull away, staring at our hand-in-hand, retreating figures. Xiao Fang ground his teeth until they audibly cracked. With trembling hands, he pulled out a black card and slammed it on the table. Then, with a dark face, he hurriedly chased after us. Just as we reached the elevator, I caught that scene out of the corner of my eye. My heart gave a violent lurch. Throwing around a black card? Where did he get that kind of money? Host, please be aware. Xiao Fang's current available liquid assets are approximately 20 million. Holy crap, 20 million. My mind instantly exploded. On what grounds? The system told me to adjust my attitude. If I actively enjoy the drama, I will marry a rich, beautiful woman and reach the pinnacle of life. Like hell, I believe that. You are a terrible, rotten system. The elevator had not arrived yet when I suddenly noticed Yushi staring at me unblinkingly. Was she captivated by my heroic bearing just now? Hearing my inner voice, Yushi suddenly snapped back to reality. The next second, an icy, murderous aura exploded from her. The surrounding temperature seemed to drop several degrees. Jingchen, have you not held my hand long enough? I quickly let go, stepping back with an awkward smile. Second sister, I was just acting for the show. Hiyuki's temples throbbed with raw anger. If you dare touch me again, you are dead. Terrified, I quickly raised my hands in surrender. It is a total misunderstanding. Second sister, I was sacrificing myself for the greater good. Just then, Xiao Fang caught up, looking like his wallet was bleeding out. Seeing second sister scolding me, his eyes instantly lit up as he put on a deeply worried expression. Brother, you cannot be so impulsive next time. But Hiyuki just shot him a cold glance, too lazy to even say a single word. I just let out a cold snort. Ignored once again, Xiao Fang was so mad he almost coughed up blood right then and there. Ding. The elevator doors slid open. The three of us walked in. The silence in that cramped space was absolutely hair-raising. Hiyuki had her eyes closed, her brows tightly furrowed. She regretted everything, not just bringing Xiao Fang, but especially a troublemaker like me. Meanwhile, I was screaming frantically in my own head. Little bucket, when the hell is that bastard going to show up? The system replied instantly. Rest assured, host. The moment the target appears, I will alert you immediately. I sneered inwardly, you better keep your word. If you miss it, I will dig you out of my brain and kick you like a soccer ball. Hearing my crude yet frantic inner thoughts, the corners of Hiyuki's mouth twitched almost imperceptibly. The elevator chimed, reaching the first floor just as we stepped out. Suddenly, Little Bucket's warning siren exploded inside my head. Red alert, host. Look. Target spotted at your 9 o'clock. My heart dropped. I abruptly stopped in my tracks as I saw a figure in a black hoodie huddled over there. His hood was pulled down tight. The second he looked up, I saw those murky, bloodshot eyes and a hideous centipede scar crawling from his cheekbone down to the corner of his mouth. I gasped. My God, did this guy crawl straight out of a horror movie? Little Bucket reminded me in an exasperated tone, host. He has a dangerous weapon in his hand. Even as I complained, my muscles tensed up, ready to bolt. But my sudden halt completely startled Hiyuki. She twisted her ankle and fell straight toward me. Luckily, my reflexes were absolute god tier. I caught her steadily in my arms. Seeing this, Xiao Fang burned with jealousy as he rushed over anxiously. Second sister, are you okay? Right then, Little Bucket's alarm escalated. Host, pay attention. The target is approaching rapidly. He is pulling something from his jacket. Hey, it is finally here. My Hero Saves the Beauty service is officially open for business. Don't move, I barked, stopping Xiao Fang's outstretched hand in its tracks. He flinched violently at my shout, standing frozen in place. I immediately looked down and whispered to Hiyuki in my arms, Second sister, there is a killer after you. Your ankle is sprained, so you cannot run. Quick, tell me, do you need a personal bodyguard? She stared into my eyes, which were brimming with mock sincerity, her heartbeat racing. What exactly are you trying to say? It is simple, I grinned. As long as you give me 5 million, I guarantee I will protect you like an iron fortress. Her expression froze instantly. After all that drama, I was just shaking her down for money. Though she was cursing me out in her head, she still gritted her teeth and agreed. Fine, just keep me safe. Just as I was getting carried away with my success, Little Bucket's warning blared again. Host, the target is within 5 meters. He is holding a container of highly corrosive acid. My heart dropped. You trash system. Is this how you keep watch? Little Bucket sounded wronged. You were so lost in your get-rich-quick dreams, I did not dare interrupt you. You useless piece of junk. My eyes swept over the charging dark figure, and then I looked at the gullible Xiao Fang. A wicked idea popped into my head. I suddenly pointed at the man in black and yelled, Xiao Fang, look. Is not that your classmate? Xiao Fang instinctively looked over. When he clearly saw what was in that bottle, his pupils shrank violently. A realization exploded in his mind. He instantly burst forward with terrifying speed and recklessly slammed hard into the man in black. Crash! The two of them slammed to the ground, rolling into a tangled, chaotic mess. The bottle flew out of the assailant's hand. He never expected anyone to intercept him halfway. They immediately started brawling. Heh! Thanks for the assist, I grinned, scooping up Hiyuki and bolting straight for our van. Sit tight, second sister. Let us enjoy the show. Then I whipped out my phone and dialed 911. Hello, officer. Someone is committing a violent assault outside the Hyatt Hotel. Hurry, save us. Sitting in the van, Hiyuki slapped the window, anxiously. Number 6, what are you standing there for? Go help him. But I deliberately pretended to be deaf, leisurely enjoying the free show. Hiyuki was completely frantic now. She unleashed her ultimate threat: if you do not go down and help right now, you can forget about getting a single cent of that 5 million. The moment she said that, I leaped up like a coiled spring. No way. I am absolutely going to save my precious money right now. Hearing this, Hoshi was absolutely furious. Smoke practically blew out of her ears. Just wait until this is all over. She would show him. She absolutely had to dock his pay. Deduct every single cent of that 5 million. I rushed over to the two of them, frantically circling around and looking for any opening to strike. If my handsome face got ruined, how would I make a living? Suddenly, Little Bucket popped up to cheer me on. Host, hurry and use your amateur martial arts. I was filled with pure grief and indignation. You just want me dead so you can inherit my 5 million. But at the thought of that 5 million, I steeled my resolve. I aimed for an opening and slid in with a flying tackle, locking onto his thigh in a death grip. He Xiaofang, pin his arms. I have got his legs. Hearing this, He Xiaofang used every ounce of strength he had, locking the man in black in a chokehold while I held the legs and he pinned the arms. We finally managed to pin the guy to the ground. Just then, the man in black suddenly burst with raw strength. Smack! A crisp, resounding slap landed squarely right on He Xiaofang's face. He was slapped so hard he saw stars, his cheek instantly swelling up like a steamed bun. I couldn't hold it in and burst out laughing. Holy crap, Xiaofang, your face is a true masterpiece of pure self-sacrifice. My laughter was like pouring gasoline on a fire. All that humiliation and fury rushed straight to He Xiaofang's head. He, Jingchen, I swear we cannot coexist under the same sky. He let out a feral howl and lunged at the guy like a madman. Just as the situation was about to spiral completely out of control, the blaring sound of police sirens echoed from a distance. The police finally arrived. Xiaobing's gaze was like lightning. A flash of silver, then a sharp click. Handcuffs were instantly slapped on the man and he was shoved into the cruiser. Seeing this, Hushi's racing heart finally settled, but I immediately went into full drama queen mode. Wiping away non-existent cold sweat, I sidled up to her. Sister Xiaobing, my savior. A second later, and my life would have been over. Beside me, He Xiaofang stood completely dumbfounded. He had never seen such a badass, cool female officer before. Seeing how close we were, the flames of intense jealousy instantly flared up in him. He Xiaofang shot me a bitter sideways glance. The corner of her mouth twitched upward. Not bad. Little brother Jingchen was pretty brave tonight. I immediately straightened my back, looking incredibly smug. Of course, a petty thug like that is a total piece of cake. Xiaobing cut off my bragging. All right, enough. Come back to the station with me and give a detailed statement. A statement? The smile on my face instantly froze. My heart sank. That will take forever, and my second sister's ankle is still swollen. My 5 million is waiting. No, I mean, second sister's injury. Right then, the system's voice suddenly rang out, detecting intense anxiety from the host. 90% probability it is due to fear of losing the 5 million. I instantly flared up. Do I look like a guy who only cares about money? I genuinely care about my second sister and my 5 million on the side. Hearing my inner thoughts, a knowing smile flashed in Xiaobing's eyes, though her face remained completely serious. I had a sudden flash of inspiration and instantly switched to a pitiful expression. Sister Xiaobing, do I really have to go? My second sister sprained her ankle, and I need to get her to the hospital. Right then, my eyes shifted, locking straight onto He Xiaofang. Let my little brother go with you. He witnessed the whole thing and even helped catch the guy. He Xiaofang was about to curse me out, but when he met Xiaobing's gaze, he actually felt a sudden thrill of excitement, right as Xiaobing began to look hesitant. Hushi, sitting in the nanny van, decisively delivered an assist. Rolling down the window, she yelled, Number 6, what are you dawdling for? My foot is killing me. Hearing her shout, Xiaobing finally let out a helpless sigh. Fine. Special circumstances call for special treatment. Hurry up and get her to the hospital. Hearing this, I felt like I had just been granted amnesty. You got it. Thanks. Sister Xiaobing, you are a total lifesaver. Xiaobing just gave a faint nod. Go on. I immediately turned and darted back into the van, wearing a fawning smile. Sit tight, second sister. We are heading out right now. Meanwhile, on the way to the station, He Xiaofang could not sit still. Unable to hold back, he tried to strike up a conversation. Hello, officer. My name is He Xiaofang. Xiaobing shot him a quick glance through the rearview mirror, giving only a cold grunt. But He Xiaofang did not give up, switching to a curious tone to probe her further. Officer, what is your relationship with my brother, He Jingchen? Unexpectedly, Xiaobing did not even blink, acting as if she had not heard him at all after getting the cold shoulder twice. He Xiaowing's pride took a massive hit. He forced a smile, ready to speak, but then he shut up. Xiaobing's eyes snapped wide open. Are you here to give a statement or run a background check? Do not think you can act out of line just because you are some young master of the Heath family. That single sentence terrified He Xiaowing so much he shrank back, not daring to utter another word. He was so incredibly embarrassed. He wished the ground would just open up and swallow him whole. Xiaobing spoke up again. I am his girlfriend. He Xiaowing's body jolted violently, his eyes widening in shock. How is this possible? In my past life, he was clearly a loser I trampled under my feet. Why did everything change after I was reborn through that rearview mirror? Xiaobing watched his complete mental breakdown. A playful smirk tugged at the corner of her mouth. Jingchen, my little brother, I hope you are satisfied with this massive gift. Meanwhile, back in the nanny van, second sister, Yushi's voice was completely unreadable. Number 6. Who was that female cop just now? She seemed pretty close to you. My heart skipped a beat, and my grip on the steering wheel tightened. I played dumb, trying to bluff my way through. You mean that officer? She is just a dedicated public servant, that is all. I do not know her at all. Yushi did not say anything else, but her gaze pinned me down like nails. Her intense stare made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I groaned inwardly. Crap, what does second sister want? Should I just confess? She is our eldest sister's best friend, so telling her might actually cause even more trouble. Hearing my inner thoughts, her tense, beautiful face finally relaxed. She just gave a soft "oh" and looked out the window. Over half an hour later at the hospital, once the doctor finished treating her, I immediately rubbed my hands together and leaned in. Hey, second sister, about that 5 million? Seeing my sycophantic behavior, the frustration in her heart flared right back up. The system's alarm instantly blared wildly. Beep beep. Rage levels spiking. Host, prioritize your survival. Are you kidding me? I roared internally. If I do not bring it up now, what if she reneges on our deal once she is fully healed? Unexpectedly, the system gave a cold warning. Friendly reminder, host verbal agreements hold absolutely no legal weight. I was so incredibly mad right then. I was speechless. Whose side are you even on anyway? You trash system. Listening to this grand drama playing out in my head, Hiyushi could not help but burst out laughing, leaving me completely baffled. Second sister, what are you laughing at? She suppressed her smile and rolled her eyes in exasperation. Relax. You will not be short a single cent. Hearing there was hope, I immediately pushed my luck. Second sister, look at what you are saying. Am I, Jingchen, the kind of person who only cares about money? But who knew Hiyushi would deliberately draw out her words? As long as you are not rushing me, we can talk about this later. Wait, no, second sister. I instantly panicked. My wonderful second sister, please have mercy and take pity on me. Seeing me, scratching my head in pure anxiety like a manic monkey, she finally broke down. All right. I have already notified third sister and the others. Now hurry up and get back to school. Hearing this, I felt pretty uneasy, but I decided to quit while I was ahead. Yes, ma'am. Rest well, second sister. This lowly servant takes his leave. Just summon me anytime you need me. After saying that, I even gave an exaggerated bow. Then I bolted out of the hospital room like a wisp of smoke, terrified she would change her mind. Hiyushi shook her head with a helpless smile. Go on, you little money grubber. Half an hour later, I pushed open the dorm room door, humming a little tune. Fatty, wake up. Prepare to welcome the presence of a god. My roommate, Hanyu, who was playing on his phone, was so startled by my shout that he almost threw his device. My promotion match. Brother, give me back my star. Watch out for the human cannonball. I immediately unleashed my ultimate move. Fatty, look what delicious food I brought you. Smells so good, right? Hanyu slammed on the brakes instantly. From this day forth, you are my biological father. 10 minutes later, I walked out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel. Hanyu was already sprawled on his bed, completely satisfied, happily scrolling through his phone again. I reminded him while drying my hair. Fatty, it is midnight. Aren't you going to sleep? Tomorrow is the first day of military training. Too full. Got to digest a bit. He let out a satisfied burp, as if suddenly remembering something. He put down his phone and lowered his voice mysteriously. Oh, right, I just saw some news on the forum. They say our school reformed military training this year. The instructors are not even from the military. They are outstanding upperclassmen from previous years. Upperclassmen? My hand drying my hair abruptly stopped. I am totally dead. I am so dead. If fifth sister is an instructor, I am completely screwed. I just scammed her out of 10 million last time. Little bucket, quick. Analyze the probability of fifth sister being an instructor. According to the data, the chance of Huding being chosen as our instructor is 89.7%. Host, my condolences. Condolences. My ass, I screamed frantically in my mind. You cheap system, you dare laugh? When I scammed her out of that money, you congratulated me too. The system replied coldly. Fairness and justice are our core principles. You are really something else, I gritted my teeth. Just give me the reward for last night's escort mission. I need power. Understood. Master level basic combat skills successfully issued. A warm current surged through my limbs and bones. Awesome. I feel like I could take on 10 heavyweights with these skills. Even if fifth sister tries to kill me, I will at least survive. 7 a.m. the next morning on the sports field. The instructor was holding a roster, calling roll. Right as they were about to call my name, Han Yu and I squeezed into the back, panting heavily. We finally made it. I chewed on a piping hot steamed bun, my heart still pounding with sheer terror. Suddenly, a booming voice echoed across the field. The principal stood on the high platform, his gaze sweeping over thousands of freshmen. He paused. I now declare military training officially begun. Gulp. I swallowed the last bite of my bun with difficulty, praying frantically. Please, do not let it be fifth sister. But as the instructors marched toward their squads, the field instantly erupted into a wave of gasps. Look, it is Senior Huding, the demon instructor from last year. Those whispers instantly spiked my anxiety. I am screwed. I want to drop out. Beside me, Han Yu excitedly nudged my elbow. Brother, if the school beauty is our instructor, that would be so badass. Badass my ass, you clearly have a death wish. I wanted to shut his mouth, but I could only fake being calm. Fatty, wake up. She is the legendary demon instructor. That means her training will be so brutal it will make you question your life. No way. The excitement on Han Yu's face froze, replaced by pure panic. Huding ignored the chatter and walked straight toward our squad. Finance Class 1 and Finance Class 2. Attention. Follow me. At her command, the students of both classes instantly stood at attention. Only my heart was filled with dread. Heavens, what did I do to deserve this? Under everyone's watchful eyes, Huding led both classes to the cool shade of the trees. This special treatment thrilled the students, who immediately praised her for being both kind and beautiful. The buzzing chatter made her frown. Haven't you talked enough? Her sharp, freezing aura instantly silenced the entire crowd. But right in the middle of this dead silence, a loud yawn exploded right next to me. Holy crap! It scared the life out of me. My hair stood on end. Damn it, fatty, you've really killed me this time. Sure enough, Huding walked up to me with a freezing glare. Step forward 10 laps around the track, right now. She did not give me a single second to breathe. A total death sentence. Fifth sister, you are ruthless. I did not dare hesitate and started running. Watching my retreating back, a flash of satisfaction crossed Huding's eyes. Then her sharp gaze swept over the others. Attention everyone, stand at attention for 45 minutes. If anyone dares to move, the whole class gets an extra 5 minutes. Everyone stood ramrod straight, terrified of ending up like me. The hot track radiated waves of distorted heat. The air was so thick it suffocated me. Lil Bucket, save me. Do you have a stamina recovery card? But the system replied flatly. Host, the shop currently only provides moral support. You can do it. You are the best. In the shade, Huding slowly patrolled the ranks, but her eyes remained locked on me. I cannot hold on. I really cannot hold on. Fifth sister, have mercy. I was really wrong. Hear my pleas. The corners of Huding's tightly pressed lips curled up slightly. Why is this brat's stamina so terrible? But it serves him right. Time passed slowly. The students in the shade started feeling their legs go numb. By the time I reached my 6th lap, I suddenly stumbled, falling straight toward the burning track. Seeing this, Huding's heart instantly clenched with panic. She dashed across the grass in a few strides. Right before I hit the ground, she yanked me back. Huding's voice was filled with urgent panic. Hi Jing, wake up. Can you hear me? I only felt the entire world spinning. I struggled to open my eyes. Sis, water? I am so dizzy. Reporting instructor, I will go get water. Han Yu was the first to snap out of it, roaring as he bolted toward the supply corner. She ignored her strict instructor image, dragging me into the shade, kneeling down to unbutton my collar and fanning me. Jingchen, hang in there. Look at me. Water is coming right away. All the students watched, completely dumbfounded. The demon instructor, who was cold and ruthless a second ago, now had eyes filled with worry. The massive contrast left everyone frozen on the spot. Meanwhile, in the formation, He Xiaofang's eyes narrowed sharply. That nervousness, that deep heartache and concern, he had never received any of it. Why? He was the true heir of the He family. Why did fifth sister only have eyes for him? Just then, Han Yu ran back, panting heavily. Instructor, here's the water and some cooling oil. She snatched the bottle, bringing it to my lips and slowly feeding me. As the ice-cold water slid down my throat, color finally returned to my pale face. How do you feel? He Huining's voice softened. Much better, just do not have any strength, I said weakly. Seeing me like this, all the anger in He Huining's heart vanished, leaving only heartache and fear. You had heat stroke and still pushed yourself? Do you not know how to speak up? I tried to defend myself, but the moment our eyes met, I swallowed my words. She took a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down. Han Yu, help him to the infirmary immediately. Yes, instructor. Han Yu quickly helped me up, and we shuffled toward the infirmary together. The moment we turned the corner and left He Huining's line of sight, a sly smile flashed across my face. Good thing, I am smart. The basic combat skills I learned yesterday really saved my life. Otherwise, faking a faint today would have turned into a real one. Host, faking an illness feels great in the moment, but it is a one-way ticket to your own funeral later. The system's cheeky voice chimed in. What do you know? I roll my eyes internally. As long as I do not get caught, I am fine. 10 minutes later, a blast of air conditioning instantly dispelled the heat. I could not help but sigh. So good. Han Yu's eyes almost popped out. Brother He, you are fine. You were really faking it just now. Duh. I raised an eyebrow smugly. It is called a tactical retreat. Holy crap. Han Yu bowed in sheer admiration. Brother He, since you are fine, should we sneak back to the dorms? Back to the dorms? I shook my head decisively. No way. Once I have rested enough, I am going back to train. Han Yu stared at me like I spoke alien. Bro, he yelled dramatically. You have the guts to fake an illness to trick the instructor, but you do not dare skip training? What does this fat guy know? Tricking fifth sister is a minor offense. Actually skipping training and getting caught? That is a total death sentence. Cut the crap. If you want to leave, go by yourself. I will head back after a short break. It is called seeing things through to the end. I waved my hand, trying to sound righteous while feeling guilty. Seeing that I insisted on going back, Han Yu had no choice but to tag along helplessly. The two of us mooched off the infirmary's air conditioning for a full hour before slowly strolling back. Returning to the shade, I puffed out my chest and shouted, Reporting, instructor. He Jingchen and Han Yu request to rejoin the squad. Fifth sister's icy gaze swept over me, pausing on my energetic face. Fall in. My heart instantly bloomed with joy. Fifth sister did not see through my act. But then, He Huining's anger instantly ignited. You have got some nerve, He Jingchen. How dare you fake an illness to trick me? Old grudges and new debts, we are settling them all today. And so, 45 minutes later, while the other students rested and drank water, her ruthless voice exploded in my ears. He Jingchen, Han Yu, make up for the 45 minutes of military stance you missed. Han Yu and I were instantly petrified. We exchanged a look of utter despair. In each other's eyes, we saw only one phrase, life is meaningless. Meanwhile, He Xiaoying, watching this from the grass, felt a rush of pure satisfaction shoot straight to his brain. He Jingchen, you finally got what was coming to you. However, this was merely the appetizer for hell mode. We had just finished our makeup stance and had not even caught our breath when He Huining's demonic voice rang out again. Improper posture. Extra 30 minutes. Sweat stung my eyes. Fifth sister, this is definitely a personal vendetta. Lil Bucket munched on virtual sunflower seeds and teased, is host regretting showing off in the infirmary now? If you knew this would happen, why do it? Just as the system finished, He Huining's icy voice exploded again, still daring to zone out. Another 5 minutes. I was scared out of my wits and did not dare let my mind wander anymore, gritting my teeth and holding on for dear life. When we finally made it to the end, I felt like a completely dehydrated sponge. Han Yu straight up collapsed, letting out a pig-slaughtering squeal. In the blink of an eye, it was evening. Sitting in a circle on the field, He Huining surprisingly softened her voice, announcing that they would have a talent show. But after witnessing her demonic training during the day, who would dare volunteer? The entire crowd was dead silent. The atmosphere was awkward to the extreme. Right then, a clear, confident voice suddenly shattered the silence. Reporting instructor, I'll go. He saw He Xiaopeng stand up briskly and walk to the center. With a smug smirk, he announced he'd perform a breakdancing routine. Whispers instantly broke out around us. The real young master of the He family was up. He casually rolled his wrists and completely ignited the crowd. A few smooth top rocks with explosive rhythm, Then a sudden drop into high-difficulty power moves a beautiful backspin, his body whirling like a high-speed top. The watching students didn't even blink. Even Fifth Sister's eyes showed a hint of admiration. This gave He Xiaopeng a massive rush of controlling the entire stage as he prepped his ultimate move. A headspin supported by both hands, but right at his peak moment, a loud, abrupt yawn shattered the air. Spinning at high speed, He Xiaopeng suddenly wobbled. Bam! He crashed heavily onto the hard ground. Instantly, the field went dead silent as everyone turned toward the sound. They saw me rubbing my eyes with my mouth wide open, looking innocent, like I'd just woken up. He, Xiaopeng, snapped his head up, glaring daggers. His proudest moment had been ruined by a single yawn. Startled by his glare, I chuckled awkwardly. Sorry, everyone. I was tired and fell asleep. Beside me, Han Yu immediately twisted the knife, saying my snoring sounded like thunder. Just then, He Yuding's cold voice drifted over, calling He Jing to show what he had. He Xiaopeng immediately chimed in. Yeah, brother, your last duet was so amazing. Sing another song for everyone today. Alarm bells rang in my head. This kid is definitely plotting. Sure enough, Lil Bucket's voice immediately chimed in. He Xiaopeng has tampered with the microphone, installing a high-frequency jammer inside. I sneered internally. Cheap tricks. Just wait and see how I turn this around. He Yuding was startled at first, but curiosity quickly suppressed her anger at this little brat. She wanted to see what tricks I had. I instantly smiled, strode forward confidently, and grabbed the tampered microphone. Before the smirk on He Xiaopeng's face could fully bloom, I suddenly changed my tune. Singing is fine, but let's try something fresh. How about a magic trick? He Xiaopeng's face instantly froze, a lump of frustration hitting his chest as he wondered what I was playing at. I wore a mysterious, confident expression. Fellow students, I'll perform a quick magic trick to liven things up, and He Xiaopeng is the perfect assistant for the job. Let's hear it for He Xiaopeng. Hearing this, alarm bells blared in his head. He instinctively wanted to refuse, but I clapped loudly first, telling everyone to give him some encouraging applause. The clueless crowd instantly hyped up, erupting into enthusiastic applause and cheers. Backed into a corner under everyone's gaze, He Xiaopeng could only grit his teeth and stiffly shuffle to the center. Beaming with a wide smile, I thanked He Xiaopeng as I pulled a red silk scarf from my system space. For the first trick, the vanishing scarf. He Xiaopeng, please inspect it carefully. He Xiaopeng suppressed his disgust, flipped it over, and threw it back disdainfully, calling it a normal scarf. I took the scarf, crumpled it up, and hid it in my left fist, blowing on it dramatically. Time to witness a miracle. I opened my hand, it was completely empty, causing low gasps of amazement. Beside me, He Xiaopeng curled his lips in contempt at such an outdated trick. He sneered that it was hidden in my sleeve, but I smiled and showed everyone my bare hands. They were completely empty. So, where did the scarf go? The next second, I reached into the back of He Xiaopeng's collar and gently pulled out the red scarf. The crowd gasped as He Xiaopeng's face twisted like he had just swallowed a fly, calling me a bastard. Wondering when I stuffed it there, he glared. I raised an eyebrow. How is that for an appetizer? The real show is coming up next. He Xiaopeng's internal alarms blared, but under everyone's watchful eyes, he could only reluctantly spread his arms. He Yuding also watched with great interest, curious about my next trick. Just keep that kingly pose, buddy. I waved the red scarf mysteriously in front of his face, muttering total nonsense. At the same exact moment, I gave the system command. Lil Bucket, initiate. Peace Envoy is ready. Equipped with a biochemical surprise, precision airdrop primed. Right as the words left my mouth, I forcefully shoved the red scarf into He Xiaopeng's chest. The second that fabric made contact, wings started flapping wildly. Amidst the chaos and panic, a fat white dove materialized right out of He Xiaopeng's jacket. Oh my god, a live dove. The crowd went wild. Gasps and screams erupted. Just then, Lil Bucket warned me that the dove was under extreme stress. Its digestive tract is ready to blow. He Xiaopeng stood there, completely frozen in terror. His eyes went wide as saucers, staring at those thrashing claws. Every hair on his neck stood up as he screamed to get it away. He had no idea his worst nightmare was just starting. As the panicked bird launched itself into the sky, a warm glob of white bird droppings landed right on He Xiaopeng's chest. The sheer disgust hit him like a truck, making his stomach churn so hard he almost puked right there. Meanwhile, the terrified dove flapped its wings and vanished into the dark night. The absolute silence lasted for exactly 1 second before Han Yu's hysterical laughter shattered it completely. Suddenly, everyone else burst into a wild fit of giggles. This magic trick was way too chaotic. I was dying laughing, and even Jingchen was left utterly speechless. She never imagined my magic trick would go down like this. Where did this absolute menace even find a live bird? It was pure evil. Biting her bottom lip to stop from laughing, her cheeks still twitched uncontrollably. Swallowing my own laughter, I rushed forward and pretended to search for some tissues. "Oh, classmate, Xiao Fang, I am so sorry. It was purely an accident," I insisted. But Xiao Fang violently slapped the tissues away, telling me to get lost and just wait. With that, he turned around and sprinted off the field. Watching his fleeing figure, I finally lost it and laughed. "Lil Bucket, did you see that? That was a perfect 10. I maxed out his anger instantly. The system replied that I was truly a master of seeking death. I can already hear Xiao Fang sharpening his knives. After that stunt, the other acts felt completely flat, even though people tried to sing and dance. Eventually, the instructor yelled dismissed, and our little talent show wrapped up. Days flew by in a blur of sweat and marching drills. On the afternoon of the 14th day, our brutal military training finally ended. I massaged my sore shoulders and exhaled a long sigh of relief. Tonight, I was going to relax. Suddenly, the system chimed in, recommending Third Sister's Spa because it was completely free. My eyes lit up. It made perfect sense, and there was no time like the present. I slipped away from the cheering crowd and headed straight to the dorms. "Wait up," Han Yu called out, chasing after me and panting heavily. He asked where I was going in such a rush. I grinned and told the fatty that I was taking him somewhere to relax, asking if he was in. Han Yu's tiny eyes sparkled as he mentioned a massage, though he worried he had no cash. I told him to relax and just follow my lead, because money was covered. He got so excited he could barely speak. Half an hour later, we reached the wellness club. The inside was insanely fancy. Han Yu whispered that this place looked way too high class for us. He nervously tugged my shirt, confessing that he only had enough cash on him for a single bowl of beef noodles. I patted his shoulder. "Don't worry, it is my treat. You won't spend a cent." The moment we approached the front desk, the manager blinked in surprise. Then, her face lit up with an incredibly warm, enthusiastic smile. She welcomed me as young master, leading us to VIP room 3. Han Yu stared in absolute disbelief. He asked if my family owned the place, his face turning bright red with excitement as he looked at me like a hero. Inside, the cozy room had soft lights and relaxing music. But that peace was short-lived. A barrage of angry shouting suddenly echoed from the hallway, someone demanding to see the boss to file a major complaint. Right after that, a girl's shaky, crying voice apologized, saying she had really tried her absolute best. The angry customer yelled that he paid cash so he was the boss, threatening to smash the spa to pieces. Frowning, I asked Lil Bucket what was happening. Lil Bucket chimed in with the cheerful tone of someone watching a movie, reporting a customer dispute. Apparently, a massive customer was furious with the female masseuse's service and was throwing a huge tantrum out there. Rage flared inside me. How dare someone start trouble and bully staff on my third sister's turf? I couldn't just stand by. I told Han Yu I was going to check it out, and he scrambled up to follow me. Yanking open the VIP room door, the scene in the hallway made me freeze. A guy built like a literal mountain was screaming directly into the face of a trembling masseuse, asking if she was deaf. "Get the boss out here now." The masseuse kept her head low, her shoulders shaking with fear. She begged him to be reasonable, saying he was the one who insisted, but the fat man cut her off, spitting mad. He demanded a proper massage and asked if she even tried. I took a deep breath, pasted on a smile, and stepped in. "Hey, big guy, let's cool down. Peace is good for business, right?" The fat man snapped his head toward me. He barked out, asking who I was and telling me to get lost. He wanted the boss and vowed to get her fired. My smile faded at that. I told him we really needed to be reasonable about this. I asked what exactly was wrong with the masseuse's service. Reasonable? His voice pitched up an octave in pure disbelief. He claimed she was slacking off and that he paid to relax, not get angry. I repeated the words, slacking off. I stepped right up to his face. "Cheap talk won't work. Let's head to the security room and check the footage. We can see exactly what happened." Hearing about the cameras, panic flashed in his eyes, but he tried to maintain his tough act. He blustered, asking if I thought I could just view security tapes, and demanded to know who I was. He told me to get lost if I wasn't the boss. I coldly replied that I was making it my business anyway. He called me a little bastard and threatened my life, his entire face flushing bright red with rage. Using his massive frame, he put all his weight into a vicious slap. My gaze instantly turned to ice. I slipped backward and leaned out of the way. His heavy hands sliced through nothing but empty air. Overextending, he stumbled and fell forward with an awkward thud, cursing under his breath. Just then, a sharp, authoritative female voice cut through the hall, demanding to know who was causing trouble on her turf. Spotting the actual boss, the The fat man scrambled up in a panic and immediately began whining. He cried out that the boss was finally here and claimed we had ganged up to push him. Duo looked at him with utter disgust. Without saying a word, she gave a casual wave of her hand. Two massive security guards immediately stepped up from behind her. They grabbed him by both shoulders. Without missing a beat, they hoisted him in the air and dragged him toward the door. I watched in total awe. My third sister is a complete badass. Her style is just so cool and commanding. The fat guy thrashed around, screaming at them to let him go and calling the place a scam. He threatened to tear the joint down, but Duo did not even blink, ordering them to toss him far away. She did not want him dirtying the entrance carpet. His yells faded as silence returned to the hallway. I clicked my tongue. That idiot really dared to talk tough on his way out. My system warned me that the guy was likely not bluffing and trouble was coming. I scoffed. What is there to fear? My third sister was right here. I turned to Duo, instantly plastering on a big, flattering grin. Duo shot me an annoyed look before turning to comfort the trembling masseuse, asking Xiaolu if she was all right. She told her to take some paid time off and promised a double bonus. Xiaolu thanked both of us profusely. Xiaolu bowed deeply. Duo then looked at me, her tough demeanor softening slightly. She chided us for causing trouble right after military training, telling us to get moving before the guy returned with backup to block the exit. I nodded quickly, grabbed Hanyu while he was still grinning like an idiot, and dragged him back to our room. Hanyu patted his chest, still visibly shaken. He whispered that my sister was terrifying and worried about the fat man's threats. He asked if we would be okay. I waved it off, telling him to relax since my sister could handle anything. Even so, I silently reached out to my system, telling Xiao Tong to keep a sharp eye on the area. I asked for an early warning if any idiots actually showed up. The system told me to relax and enjoy. It promised to look out for me. In what felt like a blink of an eye, 30 minutes slipped by. We changed our clothes, feeling completely refreshed. But the second we stepped into the lobby, a sneering voice echoed from the front desk. Well, Miss He, you certainly have quite the intimidating presence. He mocked that he never expected his subordinate to offend such a major player. Duo's voice remained dead cold. She asked Lu Long why he was messing around in Lu City instead of staying home acting like a king. I asked Xiao Tong who the arrogant guy was as I quietly crept closer, eager to watch the show unfold. Xiao Tong replied in an excited, gossipy tone, identifying him as the only heir of the wealthy Lu family. He looks polite, but he is actually a vicious sociopath with a 7-star danger rating. Meanwhile, the fat man was sobbing loudly to Lu Long. Young Master Lu, you have to stand up for me, especially against that kid. Shut up. Lu Long interrupted with a fake smile. Third miss, you still owe me an explanation, do you not? An explanation? A cold sneer curled on Duo's lips. Your guy caused trouble on my turf. The fact that I did not call the cops and have him locked up is already giving you a huge amount of face. Lu Long's gaze suddenly locked onto me like a hawk. This must be the legendary young master He. Right. Hearing about you 100 times is not as good as seeing you once. I have looked forward to meeting you for a long time. Look forward to meeting me? My absolute ass. I cursed him out silently in my head. My face clearly showed my complete disdain for his fake politeness. What is he plotting? Hey, host, you finally asked the key question. Xiao Tong's voice echoed in my mind, initiating system intelligence analysis. Lu Long's true purpose for this trip involves He Xiaowang. Xiao Tong's tone instantly turned serious. He Xiaowang is the mastermind behind this collaboration. The project code name is Shadow Matrix. On the surface, it is a high-end cybersecurity company, but his wild ambition is to control the core secrets of all the wealthy families in Lu City. As soon as Lu Long heard this, he jumped right on board. I gasped in shock upon hearing this. Controlling the secrets of all the wealthy families in Lu City, he is insane. What is this madman trying to do? He wants to be the local emperor of Lu City. You guessed it. Xiao Tong's voice carried a chilling tone. He wants to use the Shadow Matrix as a disguise to steal those dark, hidden secrets. Once he controls those, it is equivalent to holding the entire high society of Lu City by the throat. As for that Lu Long, his family is a local tyrant in the south. Their biggest asset is their group of top-tier hackers. He Xiaowang used this massive, glittering pie to lure Lu Long over, and now the two of them are completely in cahoots, each taking exactly what they need. Hearing all this sent a wave of coldness straight from the soles of my feet to the top of my head. For the sake of power and revenge, this madman has completely lost his mind. Just as I was deeply shaken by this monstrous conspiracy, a sinister glint flashed in Lu Long's eyes. Third miss, it was my man who did not understand the rules. I will have him apologize to you and your staff. But then, his tone suddenly shifted. Do me a favor tonight. Have this kid apologize, and we will let this go." Hearing this, Duo pressed her lips into a thin line before speaking. "Young Master Lu, I only give face to those who are actually worthy of respect. Do you think he deserves it? As for whatever tricks you are trying to pull in Lu City," she paused slightly. "The waters in Lu City are very deep. On the He family's turf, not just anyone can come and run wild." Lu Long's face instantly turned as black as coal. A trace of an ominous premonition crept into his heart. I listened from the side, my blood boiling with excitement. Third sister's move was way too cool. That is exactly how he should be treated. "Host, didn't you claim to be a master hacker? Your chance is here." Description: hurry up and make a move. Xiao Tong, stop messing around. A god-tier expert of my level casually making a move would destroy the balance of the world. What if I get banned? Xiao Tong's silence seemed to type out a long string of speechless dots in the air. Duo caught my gaze, and a subtle curve formed at the corner of her mouth. She instantly had a plan in mind. After a few seconds of dead silence, Lu Long squeezed the words through his teeth. "Very well, Duo. You have got guts. The feud is settled today. Just you wait." He abruptly turned his head, his gaze stabbing into me like a knife, "and you enjoy your final moments of peace." Dropping those harsh words, he strode out of the wellness center without looking back. Watching that aggressive figure leave, Duo silently calculated a countermeasure. If those secrets were leaked, it would be a devastating disaster. She had to discuss this with her eldest sister immediately. Her scrutinizing gaze gave me the creeps. I subconsciously shrank back. "Third sister, why are you looking at me like that? Come with me," Dodo ordered, leaving no room for argument. She grabbed my wrist and dragged me outside. "Hey, slow down. Where are we going? My friend is still here." I was dragged so hard I almost tripped. As soon as I said that, Hanu's loud voice boomed from behind. "Bro, go on. Don't worry about me." Before I could even reply, I was shoved into the car. 10 minutes later, in the top-floor CEO office of the He Group, Duo cut straight to the chase. "Big sis, the Lu family is coming right at us this time. We need to beef up our cybersecurity immediately to stop them from playing dirty." Ying tapped her fingers lightly on the desk. "I have read the files. Their hacker capabilities are unknown, but the risk is extremely high. Our firewall definitely needs an upgrade." The two exchanged a knowing look, and their eyes simultaneously locked onto me as I looked down, playing on my phone. Wanting stopped and thought for a second. "Old Six," she said, "how about I give you a task?" "A task?" Alarm bells started ringing in my head. "No way. How did I get dragged into this?" Xiao Tong immediately popped up to rub salt in the wound. "Host, weren't you just bragging about being the invincible lone wolf of the coding world?" "I was just blowing smoke, and you actually believed it." I put on a miserable face and waved my hands frantically. "Big sis, I'm just a total noob. I can't handle this kind of responsibility." Wanqing and Duo smiled at each other, their eyes full of understanding. "If you take this job, I'll pay you 5 million. Are you in?" "I'm in." I yelled reflexively, regretting it the very next second. "Wait, no! Big sis, I can't do it. I really can't. I'm doomed. My stupid mouth just loses control the second it hears about money. Xiao Tong, save me. If I screw this up, Big sis will skin me alive." "Relax, host. They're just third-rate hackers. With a single thought, I can make them all drop to their knees and beg for mercy." Typical Xiao Tong. "From now on, this little bro's following your lead." Hearing this, I instantly straightened my back, my confidence fully returning. Wanting watched my sudden change in expression and added meaningfully, "Eldest sister believes in your abilities." I immediately flashed her a sycophantic smile. "No problem. Eldest sister. Third sister, leave this to me. I guarantee I'll make our family's cybersecurity absolutely watertight. Wait for my notice on the specific arrangements. You can head back for now." Wanting waved her hand and sent me off. Back at the He family mansion, seeing my smug look, Xiao Tong's voice was filled with helplessness and worry. "Host, you're getting way too full of yourself. Do you need a physical reality check to cool down?" "Cool down? What?" I spun around excitedly in my chair. "I feel like a total god right now." Xiao Tong fell silent, quietly searching for emergency protocols for a host suffering from extreme ego inflation. Suddenly, a burst of maniacal laughter echoed in the room. I dug up some random website from who knows where. "Though, this place looks pretty sketchy." Xiao Tong's tone carried a hint of caution. I shrugged. "You should look at me with new eyes now." I scrolled with the mouse, skimming through the dazzling array of tasks on the screen. Suddenly, I froze. This order looks pretty interesting. I couldn't believe it. The payout was $10 million right off the bat. This rich lady is way too generous. This is much faster money than working for eldest sister. My fingers flew as I slammed the mouse down. Done. Xiao Tong, did you see that? This is the right way to make money. God is practically begging to feed me. But Xiao Tong's voice carried a hint of hesitation. Host. The money is quick, sure, but the security system at the Cloud International Hotel is military grade. I clicked my tongue impatiently and interrupted. Xiao Tong, a mere firewall is as thin as paper in my eyes. Watch me finish this in a flash. The next second, my fingers danced across the keyboard, leaving after images. In just 10 minutes, the chat logs from that man's phone appeared on the screen. My stomach churned violently. I dry heaved into the air, my face twisted in pure disgust. Xiao Tong's voice chimed in right on time. Host, isn't $10 million sweet enough? Right. I forced down my nausea, gathered the chat logs, location data, and hallway security footage, then packed and encrypted everything. With a single click, I sent them off to the rich lady. In less than a minute, the other party replied, "Good, give me your card number. I will transfer the money immediately." I immediately tossed over a cute puppy sticker and casually attached my card number. The next second, a crisp text notification chimed on my phone. Looking at the long string of zeros in my account balance, I grinned so wide my smile almost reached the sky. This speed, the power of a wealthy lady, is truly terrifying. At this moment, Xiao Tong's voice turned incredibly grave. Host, I casually scanned that guy, and the results aren't looking good. After comparing him with our database, that man is Ye Shuo, the only son of the Ye family's second branch in Jing City. With his background, he can definitely find out who hacked his phone. We're in trouble. Hearing this, I was so shocked I nearly bit my tongue. The Yi family of Jing City? Xiao Tong nodded heavily. That's right, they are the #1 wealthy family in Jing City. Their power is far above the He family, and they are incredibly ruthless. I clicked my tongue, then sneered. So what if it's the Yi family? In front of my god-tier hacking skills, they're all just paper tigers. While bragging, my fingers rapidly tapped the keyboard. Xiao Tong, I'll open your eyes today. First layer, Phantom Maze. Global IP random jumping. They can't track us even if they try. Second layer, Quantum Encryption. Keys update 10,000 times per second. Even if they invite literal gods, they'd have to calculate until the end of time. Third layer, Time Hourglass. Real-time eraser of all operation traces. Fourth layer, the ultimate killer move, Chaos Hive Trap. Anyone bold enough to touch this gets a massive payload of viruses. It will make them doubt their very existence. Job done, I slammed the enter key. A beautiful stream of data flashed across the screen. The screen went back to normal, as if that massive operation had never even happened. I sank into my gaming chair. Too easy. That Yi family won't even be able to touch the hem of my clothes. Trying to hack me? Keep dreaming. You are as dramatic as ever, but I have to admit this defense system is generations ahead of modern tech. Hearing that, my ego practically shot through the roof. Of course it is. Just look at who made it. Meanwhile, in a luxury suite in Jingchen, Yu Hang's phone started vibrating like crazy. The moment he picked up, a thunderous roar blasted from the speaker. You ungrateful brat, get your ass back here right now. Your video is all over Jingchen. Which powerful figure did you manage to piss off? Yu Hang's face turned pale. He scrambled to open his email. Sure enough, an anonymous zip file was sitting quietly in his inbox. He clicked it open to find mountains of undeniable evidence. Cold sweat instantly broke out across his back. Forcing himself to calm down, he quickly dialed an encrypted number. Old K, I don't care what methods you use. Find out right now which bastard hacked my phone. I am going to tear him to pieces. A gloomy voice answered. Young master, we started looking into it right away, but their methods are incredibly advanced. The moment we probed them, we hit multiple traps. We lost over a dozen high-end servers and got completely sidetracked by fake leads pointing to Shadow International and the Jiang family. We are just running in circles. Trash. A bunch of useless idiots. Yu Hang shook with rage. Search. Dig 3 feet into the ground if you have to, but find him. Meanwhile, my carefully crafted barrier was running silently, completely blocking any trace of pursuit from Jingchen. Staring at the glowing, colorful star barrier on the screen, I could not help but grin with pride. This firewall of mine is a total work of art, but just as I was getting more and more smug looking at it, a random thought popped into my head. I pulled open my drawer and started rummaging through it. Finally, I dug out an ordinary-looking black metal USB drive. I choose you. I pinched the drive, making a face of playful disgust. It is a little ugly, but it will do. Xiao Tong held back a laugh. Host, are you sure you want to use such an ordinary thing to store your awe-inspiring work of art? I shrugged and retorted, what do you know? This is called hiding in plain sight. The more ordinary, the safer it is. With that, I plugged the USB drive straight in. Come on, babies. Be good and move into your new home. Watching the data stream compress in an orderly way, I entered the core command bind host's biometric data. 5 minutes later, the process was complete. A faint blue light flashed across the USB drive, and then it went back to looking totally ordinary. Done. I carefully unplugged the drive and slid it into the deepest compartment of my laptop bag. Xiao Tong's praise came right on time. Host is amazing. The firewall is incredible. Early the next morning, I was sleeping soundly when a series of urgent knocks on the door woke me up. Hewaning's cold voice came from outside. Old 6, get up. The sun is already burning your ass. I mumbled a groggy response and struggled to pry my eyelids open a crack. Seeing no movement from my end, Hewaning furrowed her delicate brows, pushed the door open, and walked right in. The next second, her gaze landed right on my flashy boxers. The air instantly froze. Holy crap, I bolted upright, fully awake. I frantically grabbed the blanket to cover myself as Hewaning's face flushed red. She pretended to be calm and snapped. I didn't see anything. Get up right now and meet me downstairs. You are coming to the company with me. Then she spun around and slammed the door shut behind her. I patted my chest like a disaster survivor. My innocence was almost ruined there, but I did not dare delay. I leaped out of bed. 10 minutes later, the car was driving smoothly away from the villa. As we drove, I realized this was not the way to the office. I turned to her, confused. Big sis, are we going to the company? Hewaning kept her eyes on the road, a mysterious smile playing on her lips. We are checking the progress at plot 20,007 first. My heart skipped a beat. I instantly called out to Xiao Tong in my head. That plot of land has already started construction. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Of course, Xiao Tong chose this exact moment to freeze. Searching database, no solutions available. I was totally screwed. I screamed on the inside. Why does this broken system always fail when it matters most? Xiao Wang offered a cheeky suggestion. Hey host, why not just confess to your oldest sister? Let me beg her. I roared back in pure panic. No way. Not in this lifetime. But my tough attitude lasted exactly 30 minutes. The moment we reached the site, I clung to Hewaning's hand, begging like a desperate man. Big sis, this project is massive. Can I please just have one tiny souvenir from it? Hewaning tilted her head, sounding pretty amused. A souvenir? You want it that badly? And it has to be this exact one? My heart skipped a beat. Something was off. I'm doomed, and it's all your fault for this awful idea, Xiao retorted, sounding highly offended. I'm not taking the fall for this. You're the one who chickened out in 2 seconds flat. Before I could even argue back in my head, Hewaning reached out and grabbed me by the chin, making me look up. Do you really need to beg for things that belong to the He family? I froze. Did Big Sister actually just agree? But her very next words made me feel like I had just been dropped into a freezing ice cave. But whether you get it, and when you get it, is entirely up to me. Hewaning let go of my face and wiped her hands on my shirt in pure disgust. Now wipe that pathetic look off your face and follow me to inspect the progress on the site. All that hope for absolutely nothing. I grumbled to myself, squeezing out a fake smile that looked worse than a sob. Yes, you are wise and powerful, Big Sister. But right then, loud gasps and a massive commotion erupted nearby. Looks like we hit something. Hey, be careful over there and make sure nobody breaks it. Hewaning and I turned around to look. Right there, buried in the fresh dark dirt, a flash of brilliant color caught our eyes. Even beneath the thick mud, the flawless glaze and striking blue and white patterns gleamed beautifully under the bright sun. The foreman stared at Hewaning in shock. President He, did we just uncover a genuine antique? Look at this, we hit the jackpot. My breath caught. Hey, big sis, how about this for my souvenir? But Hewaning completely ignored me. She pulled out her phone and immediately made a call. Jan, call the Municipal Cultural Relics Bureau right now. Get their experts down here. She hung up and scanned the scene. Her eyes locked onto mine. We will talk after the state appraises it. Old 6, you better remember this. We are business people. But first and foremost, we are citizens. You cannot just keep whatever is buried underground. Her words made my head spin. It is over. It is completely over. My family heirloom is now a national treasure. I frantically asked Xiao in my head. What if I just run in, grab that huge jar, and bolt? What are my chances of making it? Friendly warning, host, your success rate is 0. 5 minutes later, Yi Huan rushed over with news. President He, the Cultural Relics Bureau, and the Archaeological Institute both said they will be here in under 30 minutes. Hewaning nodded, secretly listening to me, screaming and crying inside my head. Xiao, look at how beautiful that ancient vase is. And that little bowl would be absolutely perfect for eating soup. Those were supposed to be mine. Xiao silently scanned them, flashing the details and the appraisal directly into my mind. Mid to late Ming Dynasty, blue and white porcelain, priceless. Please, stop showing me. Stop it. If you keep showing me, my heart is going to shatter. Half an hour later, the convoy of experts finally arrived. Hewaning stepped forward. Hello, Professor Wang. We have secured the site, and absolutely nothing has been touched. President He, your quick response and proper handling are truly commendable. Thank you so much. Professor Wang cast an excited look at the porcelain and immediately led his team to begin excavating. I could only crane my neck and watch helplessly from behind the police line. Those are my treasures. Suddenly, a young archaeologist shouted, Professor, there is a hidden compartment in this jar. It sounds like something is inside. The experts immediately buzzed with excitement at the news. Even Hewaning raised a curious eyebrow. I instantly revived and practically jumped. Holy crap, the actual treasure is inside. Quick, scan it. See what it is. Host, an energy field is blocking me. I cannot scan it without direct physical contact. My heart raced. I stood up in pure excitement. After checking it over, Professor Wang spoke carefully. President He, we must take this to the lab to open it safely. The value of this find might far exceed our wildest estimates. Hewaning nodded. Protecting cultural relics is always the priority. We will fully cooperate. However, if the contents turn out to be non-core artifacts, maybe we could work out a flexible arrangement after they are registered. Professor Wang understood the situation perfectly. Rest assured, President He, if that is true and does not hurt the research, the He group was the discoverer, so we can apply to keep or buy them back. There is a chance. Sis, did you hear that? We have a chance. I was screaming frantically in my head. Thank you, we will await your good news. He, whinnying, smiled and watched them leave. I immediately put on a flattering grin, rubbed my hands together, and walked over to her. Sis, did you hear that? There is really a chance. Think about the stuff in that hidden compartment. He, whinnying, turned her head and asked Old Six, do you want that souvenir? I nodded like a woodpecker. Yes, I really want it. Sis, you are the absolute best. Fine, but I have two conditions until the results are out. First, keep your mouth shut. If you dare leak a single word, you will face the consequences. The threat in her voice was self-evident. I immediately pointed to the sky and swore. I promise. My lips are sealed, tighter than a clam. He, whinnying, nodded, crossing her arms. Second, tell me how you knew there was something underground. My smile instantly froze. I was dead. Dog system. Save me. How am I supposed to explain this? Little Bucket panicked. 2. Stay calm, host. Quickly make up something believable. Just say it is an ancestral map. He, whinnying, did not rush me. She quietly listened to my conversation with Little Bucket, waiting to see what kind of nonsense I would invent. Just as I felt like suffocating, a flash of inspiration hit me. Sis, a while ago, I found an old thread-bound local gazetteer in the study of the old house. Tucked inside was a blurry, hand-drawn map fragment. It had a spot marked with a 2-character name scribbled crookedly right next to it. I saw the location was right around here, but I did not expect it to actually be real. Perfect. I gave myself a massive thumbs up in my head and took the opportunity to curse Little Bucket. Dog system, you are completely useless at critical moments. I still have to rely on my own wits. Hewaning almost could not keep a straight face. She deliberately dragged out her tone. Which gazetteer? What is the book called? And where is this map fragment now? Cold sweat broke out on my forehead from sheer anxiety. After a long silence, I stammered. The book was called something like Jiangdu Old Tales and Lost Histories. I was so excited that day, I accidentally knocked over an inkstone. The ink spilled all over it, and the fragment turned into complete mush. It took me forever to clean up. I was afraid you would scold me, so I did not dare say anything. I lowered my head guiltily. That should be enough to fool her, right? He, whinnying, sneered inwardly. This little bastard was terrible at lying, but he did manage to make her see him in a new light. So, that is how it is. Her voice betrayed no emotion. Ruining such an important clue definitely deserves punishment. I snapped my head up, but the joy that had just sparked in my eyes was instantly replaced by the raw terror of being punished. But considering you made the discovery, your merits and faults cancel each other out. She delivered that unquestionable verdict. Your remaining punishment is simple. Take care of Shadow Fang for me. Hearing this, I immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Don't worry, sis, I promise they won't know what hit them. He, whinnying's brow twitched imperceptibly. Let's go. Come back to the company with me. The He Group's lifeline is now in your hands. If you screw this up, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Understood. I leaped up like a carp. Little Bucket, grab your weapons. Yours truly is going to war. Little Bucket's electronic voice took on the passionate, rhythmic beat of a war drum. Roger that. Watching my back as I charged out the door like I was on steroids, He Wanning rubbed her temples helplessly. Half an hour later, at the He Group cybersecurity department, the elevator doors slid open with a ding. The sight of the 49th floor instantly hit my eyes. This place looks a bit like the Matrix. I marveled inwardly, but I had to keep a straight face. He Wanning walked straight toward the private office at the very back and pushed open the heavy, soundproof door. The three people inside looked up simultaneously. President He. Their probing gazes then landed right on me. He Wanning walked to the head seat and got straight to the point. This is He Jingchen. From today on, he will be in full charge of Deep Blue and the core operations against the Liu family. As soon as she finished, Supervisor Shi frowned deeply. President He Deep Blue concerns the group's lifeline. How much does the young master actually know about cybersecurity? Qin Feng, standing nearby, scoffed. Yeah, President He the boss is right. We only respect real skills here, kid. You can't stand your ground just by talking big and relying on your status. I shrugged, shoving my hands in my pockets. Not convinced? Then let's compete. Bring it on, I will take on all of you. If you are afraid of losing, just chicken out now. Those words completely ignited Qin Feng's temper. Let's do it, whoever loses gets the hell out. He saw He Wanning's tacit approval. Supervisor Sheely announced the rules. The target is the internal test server, Fortress 07. First one to grab top clearance wins. Easy enough. I grinned, walked to a basic workstation, and whispered an order to Little Bucket. Watch them closely. Do not let them pull any cheap tricks. Understood, host. Setting up the escort now. I am recording your screen so you can watch your big moment later. 5 minutes later, Sheely shouted start and the battle began. Suddenly, the only sound was the furious clatter of keyboards. Chile, Mang, and Qin Feng moved in perfect sync. Screen data flashed frantically before them, but my fingers were already a blur. Dozens of windows popped up instantly, and walls of code cascaded down my screen like a digital waterfall. He Wanning stood over me, staring at the screen. A wave of pure shock was already crashing through her. The other three caught a glimpse of my blurring hands from the corner of their eyes. Their hearts skipped a beat. They were probably muttering, is this kid actually something else and not a total loser? But the real shock was yet to come. In less than 2 minutes, a bright green prompt flashed across my screen. Done. I mumbled the word, pulled out my phone, and casually started scrolling. Chile saw this and nearly choked. Focus, guys, he yelled. He is definitely just bluffing. Qin Feng and Mang locked in, eyes deadly serious. The minutes ticked away. 10 minutes in, they finally cracked the core's outer wall. They were just one final step away from full clearance. 12 minutes. Chile opened up the final channel, and Mang's code sliced right through. Qin Feng's finger hovered over the enter key, ready to strike. But right then, a sharp chime echoed from all three of their monitors at once. Their screens suddenly flashed with a giant, mocking gif. A cartoon chibi version of me sat smugly on a throne of code, legs crossed, holding up a golden trophy. Underneath, bright rainbow text read, "Arrogant noob, if you suck, practice more." Meanwhile, their clearance windows clearly showed the result. Highest administrator clearance acquired. User Hai Jingchen. Time 1 minute 58 seconds. The room went dead silent. Chili froze solid in his chair, his mind completely blank. Qin Feng's finger, still hovering over the enter key, began to tremble. All the color drained from his face. The hacking skills he was so proud of were just a joke to me. He Wanning looked at their stunned faces, then glanced at me, her lips curling into a rare smile. I pocketed my phone and strolled on over. I went easy on you three. Can we finally talk about work? In the heavy silence, something unexpected happened. Qin Feng suddenly jumped out of his chair and dropped to his knees, begging Master, please take me as your disciple. I was too blind to see your greatness. What the hell? I jumped back. A man's pride is worth gold. If you do not accept me, Master, I am never getting up. He clung to my legs even tighter. I was losing it. Little Bucket scanned his brain. Is he infected with a virus? The target is extremely hyped up right now. His admiration level is off the charts. I highly suggest taking him on as a lackey. Chile, watching from the side, finally could not take it anymore. Qin Feng, get up. What an absolute disgrace. Chile rushed over to drag him up. Stand up, Qin Feng. This is way too embarrassing. In the end, it took several of them scrambling around to forcefully peel Qin Feng off my legs while he kept screaming for his master. Master! Still shaken, I smoothed down my pants. I get it, you thought I was a Nepo baby. That is fine. In this world, skills do the talking. I pointed at the smug cartoon on my screen and held up a single finger. The Liu family, Shadow Fang, are nothing but a bunch of pathetic clowns to me. If they dare reach out, I will chop their claws clean off. Now, follow my lead and do what I say. I will show you real cybersecurity, what it really means to be indestructible. With that, I pulled out the backup USB drive from last night and tossed it to Qinfang. I built this myself. It is called the Star Barrier. Study it. I guarantee we will get this mission done. Qinfang took the drive, his eyes practically burning with fanaticism. I muttered silently to myself, "Little Bucket, this crazed fan is getting way too scary." Little Bucket's voice held a teasing tone. "You better get used to it, host. Think about the 5 million. Think about your rich sister. This is a problem only the strong face." The three of them immediately crowded around the computer monitor and carefully plugged in the USB drive. With a quick beep, the system recognized it. Qinfang could not wait to open the core engine's main program code. Meanwhile, Shi opened up the deployment instructions. Staring at the maddeningly simple 3 lines of text, his mouth began to twitch. But the moment he saw the core engine's architecture diagram, he was utterly stunned. It was a topology structure he wouldn't have even dared to imagine. This core wasn't some basic firewall, it was a self-circulating singularity model, using an incomprehensible chaos algorithm for defense. The rules weren't rigid, but dynamically generated and optimized. It can even evolve its own architecture, Shi muttered, his eyes wide with shock. It is almost like it is alive. On the other side, Mayang was totally lost in the ocean of the rule library. After quickly scanning a few files, he realized there was no IP blacklist in the rule library at all. Instead, it was entirely made of highly abstract behavioral patterns. Even more terrifyingly, these rules shared complex logical correlations and weights that could dynamically adjust themselves based on incoming attacks. The fiercer the attack, the more fatal the counterattack. Behavioral patterns, dynamic weights, and correlated responses. Mayang's breathing beneath his mask nearly stopped. This predictive power was practically a miracle. Meanwhile, Jinfeng jumped straight into the attack simulation combat module. He simulated several advanced penetration techniques in his mind, and the results made his scalp tingle. My God, it isn't defending, it's hunting. It is setting traps for the attackers. How did you even come up with this? His outcry instantly shattered the dead silence in the office. Shi and Mayang looked up at the same time, both seeing in each other's eyes the shock and ecstasy of discovering a brand new world. How about it, little bucket? This thing isn't too bad, right? I smugly wagged my imaginary tail in my mind. Host, please accept Little Bucket's knees. This star barrier is an absolute dimensional strike on Earth. Hearing the trio's exclamations and Little Bucket's nonstop flattery, I figured it was time to stop playing dead. I opened my eyes. Look at you guys acting like you've never seen the world. This is just a freshly baked little toy. Is there any need to get so worked up? Study it well. The concepts in here are just the tip of the iceberg. There will be plenty more things to open your eyes in the future. Although those words were boundlessly arrogant, hearing them now, Shay and the other two didn't have a single shred of doubt left. Jinfeng reacted first. Yes, master. Your disciple will definitely study it diligently. Shi also took a deep breath, nodding solemnly. Young master, I have learned a lot. This star barrier is enough to completely reshape the industry. Phantom also gave a slight nod, looking into my eyes with nothing but pure respect and a hint of possessiveness. The heavy stone in Huan Qing's heart finally dropped. This kid really does have some skills. I keenly caught that appreciative gaze from behind. The stone in my own heart fell to the ground too. Woohoo! That 5 million is secured. Plus, the rich sister's 10 million and big sister's 5 million. Yours truly is finally a multimillionaire. All right. Set up the test environment and run it first. I am going out for some fresh air. Shoving my hands in my pockets, I hummed a little tune. I strolled leisurely toward the door. The smile on Huan Qing's face instantly vanished. Good job. I will take you out for lunch later. For now, just take a walk around the company. Secured. It is absolutely secured. That 5 million is definitely in the bag this time. With this massive sum of money, even if I get kicked out of the house later, I can still live like a king. But Xiao Tong's electronic voice sounded helpless. Host, I suggest you check the housing prices in Luo Chang first. Shoo, stop raining on my parade. My face instantly lit up with a flattering smile. You got it, big sister. Don't worry, I promise I won't cause any trouble. Hearing my inner thoughts, Huan Qing got furious. She turned her head and walked away just as I was eagerly about to follow her. Xiao Tong's voice suddenly exploded in my mind. Alert! Detected a suspicious, highly destructive data stream. My footsteps subconsciously halted. What the heck, host? Locked onto the Xiao family's mole, Lu Hu. Third row, front left. The guy in the dark gray hoodie pretending to debug the server. A playful smirk tugged at the corner of my mouth. Xiao Tong, since when did the entry barrier for our Heshi group become so low? Host, this guy managed to get in purely through the back door of Minister Funi, head of the interview department. That guy is also a mole planted by the Xiao family. What a classic bait and switch. A golden glint flashed in my eyes. I decided to go meet this Minister Funi. Hey host, Xiao Tong was full of confusion. What about that big idiot Luhu in the corner? Are you just going to ignore him? Why should I care about him? Let him research. It would be best if he drags his whole team into it. I guarantee they will get a good taste of what a true code trap is. That is absolutely brilliant. Host, you are wise and unbeatable. Xiao Tong immediately showered me with heavy flattery. Hearing my thoughts, Xiao Tong beside me instantly went on high alert. Without a moment's hesitation, I turned around and headed straight for the monitoring center. Reaching the 32nd floor, I followed Xiao Tong's guidance and stopped right outside an office. Too lazy to bother knocking, I just grabbed the handle and barged right in. Hearing the door swing open, Fang Wei looked up from his work, annoyed. But the moment he realized it was me, that irritation instantly froze into pure panic. Young master, what brings you down to the hiring department? Please, sit. I slowly walked up to his desk. Minister Fang, you seem pretty busy. Yes, thanks to the company's blessings, I am keeping quite busy. Fang Wei nervously rubbed his hands together. Is there something the young master needs me to do? Instructions? I picked up his desk nameplate, turning it over in my hands. Minister Fang, I am just curious about how the Heshi Group Tech Department recruits its people. I mean, it should be extremely strict, right? Of course. Fang Wei immediately straightened his back. Every single step is thoroughly vetted. I guarantee everyone we hire is the absolute elite. Thoroughly vetted. Carefully selected. I slammed the nameplate onto his desk with a loud smack. Then what is the deal with that guy named Lu Hu in the tech department? Fang Wei's smile instantly froze solid. He forced himself to stay calm. I remember him. He has solid tech skills. Several of our department heads highly approved of him. Solid? I cut him off immediately. Minister Fang, are you absolutely sure you know his real background? Cold sweat instantly broke out on Fang Wei's forehead. Young master, what do you mean? We strictly followed every procedure. Did those procedures include checking if he is a dog trained by the Xiao family? Did you really think you got away clean? I asked with a cold sneer. Fang Wei's legs buckled under him. He slumped to the floor, completely speechless. He watched in terror as I slowly squatted down. You have two choices now. First, I send you to prison for a few years. Whether the Xiao family will even try to bail you out is anyone's guess. Second, you keep your job as department head. Give me all the evidence of your dealings with the Xiao family, and from now on, you are my personal spy. Fang Wei's voice shook. I choose the second option. Young master, I will do whatever you want. Good. From this moment on, your life belongs to me. Do not play any games. Otherwise, I left the threat hanging, just giving him an icy smile. Fang Wei nodded frantically, like a chicken pecking grain. I would not dare. I swear I would not dare. Leave Lu Hu alone for now. Just put together everything you know. I will be back to check on it soon. Understood? Yes, absolutely, young master. I opened the door and walked out. I handled a rat like Fang Wei while easily turning him into a loyal spy inside the Xiao family. Now, I can use him to sabotage the Xiao family from within. Honestly, this whole setup is pure genius. But Xiao Tong still thought it was not exciting enough. Host, are you not going to punish him more? What about Lu Hu? Are you actually keeping him around? Aren't you worried he will ruin your plans? I shook my head. Keeping Lu Hu right there ensures the Xiao family only learns exactly what we want them to find out. Xiao Tong's endless flattery started pouring in all over again. The elevator doors opened with a ding. As I stepped forward, I almost collided with a cleaner pushing a heavy janitor cart. The mop bucket wobbled, splashing dirty water onto the floor. She apologized immediately, saying she was so sorry. It is fine, I said, waving her off. But as I stepped aside, I noticed her unusually pale, delicate hands. Silent alarm bells instantly went off in my head. Xiao Tong, scan the toolbox on that cart. System detected a faint electronic signal. This cleaner is definitely not who she claims to be. Host, please remain on high alert. I narrowed my eyes, watching her walk away before stepping calmly into the elevator. I just dealt with one rat, and now another shows up. Exactly how many spies did they plant here? Xiao Tong sounded incredibly excited. Host, should we track her? No need. Let us see what game she is trying to play first. Understood. Target's features are marked, and I am tracking her movements now. Meanwhile, up in the private security room on the top floor, Huaning had watched me corner and break Fang Wei. A tidal wave of emotion hit her. In her cold, clear eyes, alongside absolute shock, there was a sudden flicker of admiration. Not only are his tech skills completely off the charts, but his strategic mind has become truly terrifying. Lu Hu, Fang Wei, the Xiao family, so Old Six had this figured out from the start, even setting up a counter-strategy. In Huaning's eyes, the hidden depths of my skills and secrets went far beyond anything she could have ever imagined. Seeing my reaction by the elevator made Yanning's chest tighten again. She was almost positive that Cleaner was definitely hiding something. Yanning immediately hit the intercom. Yi Yuan, pull up the cameras in the logistics corridor and waste disposal immediately. Lock onto that female cleaner in the dark blue mask right now. Watch her secretly. Do not spook her. I want to know exactly where that toolbox at the bottom of her cart is going. Yi Yuan's voice came back crisp and sharp. Yes, President, he. With the order sent, Yanning stared right back at the elevator screen. Inside, I was just watching the floor numbers tick upward. Xiao Tong, talk to me. What is that cleaner actually after? Signal analysis puts her in the logistics corridor. She is near the server room vents. 80% chance she is trying to extract our data. My eyes went dead cold. A dark smirk played on my lips exactly as I figured. Then let's make sure they never leave. The elevator doors slid open, and Secretary Yi was already standing there with a polite, professional smile. Young master, the president wants to see you now. A bright grin spread across my face. Talk about perfect timing. Secretary Yi, I was actually heading up to report my victory to my sister. Lead the way. The second I stepped into the office, Yanning slowly spun around to face me. She asked if everything was settled with Fang Wei. Spotless, I said, confidently patting my chest. That old fossil is falling in line like a scared little kid. Sis, do you want to go squeeze him yourself? Yanning looked at my goofy face and just shook her head. Fine, let's go see. You got it, lead the way, big sister. I immediately slipped into sidekick mode, guiding her to Fang Wei's office. The moment he saw us, his knees buckled. Yanning did not say a single word. She walked straight to the big leather chair and sat down with total poise. I unwrapped a lollipop, popped it in my mouth, and told him not to sweat it. My sister is just here for story time. Go ahead and repeat everything you just spilled to me, piece by piece. Shaking under our glares, Fang Wei confessed how the Xiao family recruited him, how they planted Lu, and exactly what info he sold out. He did not dare leave out a single detail. Yanning listened in total silence, her face turning colder by the second. The Xiao family's reach was far deeper than she realized. I kept sucking on my candy, tossing in a few sarcastic comments here and there. The Xiao family bought you cheap, didn't they? And that kid Lu Hao is a pretty solid actor. Wow. They even dug into cafeteria spending. Is that family really that broke? Host, your mouth is honestly lethal. Xiao Tong was practically wheezing in my head. I told her I was just breaking the tension. I defended myself silently. Yanning, completely fed up with my endless chatter, felt her temples throbbing and shot me a freezing look. I immediately sat up straight, pulled the lollipop out, and put on my most serious face. Sis, please, keep going. I promise I will not say another word. By the time Fang Wei finished confessing, the tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife. Right then, Xiao Tong's voice blared in my head. Host, we have a problem. The cleaner is making her move. She is going after Deep Blue's defense logs and the whole network map. Hearing that made my eyes turn cold. Quite an appetite. This has that old bastard Lu Long's fingerprints all over it. Xiao Tong, though, was absolutely thrilled. Host, should I just put her down permanently? Or go with a mental strike? A dark grin crossed my face. No need, let her take it. Once that little surprise lands on their doorstep, the fun begins. That is when we get to watch the digital fireworks. Right next to me, Yanning's stressed-out expression relaxed. She took a slow sip of her coffee. For once, she realized that letting me run Deep Blue might actually be fun. Meanwhile, in a dark, private room, Lu Long sat chewing angrily on a thick cigar. His sharp eyes were glued to the main monitor, while his henchman stood behind him, holding his breath. A tech guy spun around, shouting with excitement, "Boss, our inside source is in. The download is starting. We are grabbing Deep Blue's defense logs and network map. We will have the He family by the throat in no time." Perfect. Lu Long slammed his hand down hard on the table. A vicious, wild laugh burst from his chest. That girl Yanning really thought she could challenge me. I'm going to ruin her. Let us see her cry. Lu Long stared at the data rushing across the monitor. Greed and the sweet taste of revenge burned in his eyes while the technician's fingers blurred across the keyboard. Defense logs, 70%. Topology map, 90% almost there. A wave of pure, ecstatic triumph washed over the entire hideout. But the exact second that progress bar hit 100%, An ear-piercing blast of static exploded from the speakers. A second later, mocking, pixelated meme faces completely covered every single screen. Right then, a deafening EDM techno remix of traditional music blasted through the room. What on earth is this? Shut those speakers down. I can't. The console is completely frozen. It is a virus. We are infected. The entire hideout devolved into absolute, screaming chaos. Panicked technicians slammed their keyboards in vain. What in the world is happening here? Shut this thing down now. Lu Long roared, grabbing a pale, trembling technician by his collar. Brother Long, we are completely hijacked. This virus is not just wiping our local hard drives. It is uploading to our cloud backups too. Lu Long choked, nearly spitting out a mouthful of blood. I will tear you to pieces, I swear it. Beside him, Xiao Fang turned green with sheer terror. What did that bastard do? Meanwhile, I kicked back in my chair with a lollipop, lazily scrolling my phone. Suddenly, Xiao Tong's cheerful voice chimed inside my head with a ding. Target successfully infected with the colorful clouds virus. New Year Fireworks Edition data destruction program initiated. Reverse contamination is already running. Xiao Tong, your taste is way too tacky. Next time, let us play some brutal death metal instead. Xiao Tong chimed in with excitement. You are absolutely brilliant, host. I am writing that down right now. But what if Lu Long actually gets scared to death? Does that count as a workplace injury? I rolled my eyes mentally. You trash system, your focus is so weird. Honestly, it would be best if he just fainted. It would save me the trouble of dealing with him. Wanqing definitely heard my thoughts. She elegantly lifted her coffee cup, trying to hide her growing smile. I did a brilliant job, but to poor Fang Wei, who was watching our smiles from the side, it felt like two bolts of lightning striking him straight in the head. What are they laughing at? Did they find out I tipped off the Jiang family? Are they going to kill me? Host major discovery. Fang Wei's heart rate just hit 180. Xiao Tong's voice rang in my head again. Your mysterious smile just scared the absolute daylights out of him. I gave Fang Wei a playful look, secretly laughing at his terrible mental strength. He is nothing compared to that old fox Lu Long. But since he is terrified, let us comfort him. Brilliant, host. Give him a warm smile paired with your sister's death stare. The effect will double. What a fantastic idea. Manager Fang, why are you shaking? Is the air conditioning too cold, or do you have a guilty conscience? Fang's pupils dilated in absolute shock. His lips trembled, but he could not squeeze out a single word. He knows everything. He is a devil. Look, my big sister and I are actually very reasonable. Since you are willing to leave the dark side and feed us intel, we truly appreciate it. But here is the thing, my big sister absolutely despises two-faced backstabbers. If you turn around and tip off the Jiang family again, what do you think will happen to you? The words were left unsaid, but my cold smile pierced straight into Fang Wei's heart. Ding! Target's psychological defenses have completely collapsed. Loyalty is skyrocketing, Xiao Tong broadcasted. Wanqing, listening to the two of us work together, could not help but twitch her lips. She smoothly picked up the thread, saying what he said is exactly what I mean. Fang Wei, you only get one shot. The Heshi group does not feed freeloaders, and we definitely do not feed traitors. You understand me, right? Fang wailed through his tears, promising President He that in life or death, he belongs solely to Heshi. I will redeem myself. Just give me one last chance. At this, my face finally softened. Fine. Remember what you promised today. Now, clean up these accounts for me. And if the Jiang family contacts you again, you know what to do. I will report to you immediately. Fang's eyes were filled with pure relief, like he just survived a disaster and surrendered completely. I waved my hand and followed Heking out of the office. The moment we stepped out, Fangi collapsed onto the sofa, panting heavily. The guy looked like he had literally just walked through the gates of hell. Once in the hallway, my lazy side came right back. I grinned, big sister. How was my psychological warfare? Not bad, right? Heeching gave me an exasperated eye roll, telling me I have way too many wicked ideas. She added that I scare people half to death without a second thought, but inside I was incredibly smug. Big sister is clearly praising me. My system chimed in, host. Your sheer self-satisfaction makes even me bow down. Stop being so glib, she said. Waving her hand, Heeching instantly reverted to her powerhouse CEO persona, noting she had meetings later. Just wander around the company on your own. And remember, don't cause any trouble for me. She promised to take me to the newly opened Yunding restaurant for lunch. Hearing that, my eyes instantly lit up like searchlights. Is that the legendary place where the average cost starts at 4 figures? Long live Big Sister. I promise I'll be as well-behaved as a panda today. Heeching shook her head helplessly, then turned and walked back toward her office. I watched her leave and immediately showed my true colors. Hands in my pockets, whistling, I started strolling around. Total freedom at last. 5 million is waving at me, and a massive feast at Yunding is waiting. After wandering around for a bit, I realized this floor was just way too quiet. So boring. Xiaolong, run a scan for me. Are there any fun spots in this building? Target found. On the 49th floor, in the deep blue control center, the entire staff is in a state of high excitement. Also, Qin Fang is frantically searching for a way to elegantly become an apprentice. Hearing this, I was pretty amused. The kid still hasn't given up? Let's go. We're heading to the 49th floor to see the commotion. And while we're at it, I'll go inspect the empire I've conquered.